Oh my goodness. Oh my golly gosh. Hello, folks. I hope you're having a good evening. Welcome to Swim or Sink 185. My name is Grace, and I'm joined tonight by the ever so lovely Reef, making an extraordinary, unheard of, unsightly, I'm running out of adjectives, come back to commentary. Hi, Reef.
Hi, it's been, I think, about 2 years since I've commentated. I think my last event was for the Free Agent Battle League that Off the Dial hosted like 2 years ago. So it's been a second. But yeah, I'm excited to be back, especially to talk to Grace, because I love talking to her every time that we're both on staff. We spend most of the time talking if it's not about staffing. So I can't wait for this. It's going to be normal.
So true. It's like a podcast. We're just gonna yap for 8,000 hours, and they're gonna be like,
exactly.
They're gonna be like, y'all, like, it's already Riptide 2027. Why are you still here? And I'm still here because I'm simply so sad, and I'm just so happy to be here. But Reeve, it's so crazy. I mean, we're waiting a little bit here for our lovely teams to kind of get ready into this game here, which is why we didn't talk quite yet here. But yeah, we do have some fun teams, and by teams I mean pickups with very fun names. Rebel Heart, which is pretty sick. They have a little logo too, which I love. And then a Wiper's Worst Nightmare, which has me thinking about what that possible comp could be, or if they just don't like Wiper.
I mean, there's a lot of weapons I can think where I'm the worst nightmare, not because of I'm good against it, but because I hate playing against it. I'm looking at Sanders right now. But yeah, a Wiper's Worst Nightmare, I'm kind of even thinking myself, because I played Wiper for a bit when the game first came out, and I'm like, what was my worst nightmare in 2022? What's going on?
Listen, you got to get into that 2022 mindset. What were the folks running an Off the Dial? Were they running?
Oh, exactly. I need to really start thinking about this. Get back into my old self from however long ago.
It's true. It's devastating, really. I don't think I want to think about 2022 all that much. It was a strange
for real.
time.
That was...
Listen, that's when I graduated high school.
God, I don't even know what to say about 2022. It's scary.
It's scary?
It's nightmares. It's nightmares.
Yeah. I don't like that. That's my worst nightmare. Wiper's Worst Nightmare. That's my worst nightmare. Is 2022.
Wiper's Worst Nightmare. Yeah. And I played Viper, so honestly, 2022 is also Viper's Worst Nightmare, because that was my worst nightmare, was that year, so.
Oh my gosh. You played Viper?
I played Viper for a bit, yeah. Whenever it was, like, towards, like, the beginning of Crab meta, before I stopped playing that game competitively, I played Viper for a bit, and I play it sometimes. I'm bad at it now, but I play it sometimes.
Oh, that's so interesting, though. And what did you play in Splatoon 2? Sorry, y'all, we're getting into a podcast. We're thinking...
But I mean, we have time to go, so it's fine. In the second game, it really depended, honestly. Like, right now, I would say my weapon pool is kind of just any Splatling, honestly. I'm trying to 5-star all of them. And it's a little bit like that from the second game, too, except I really just played, like, Nautilus and Mini, because when I was on my team, Kappa for life. When I was on Kappa, I would play Mini because of missiles, or if I want to be like crazy, I play like Zinc Mini, and then Nautilus, the Inkjet one, and then if Silver was not there, I would play Remix, and Remix is still my child. I need if they ever bring out third kits, and I'm not gonna say if I believe that or not, because I'm not about to get a million notifications on Twitter. Whoa. Then I am begging for them to give Splatling Brio Bomb again, because I need it. I need it so bad. But it was that. I played K-Pro sometimes too, and that's actually what my gear is and my icon. But yeah, that's kind of what I did for a bit. And then when I moved to Splatoon 3, I kind of freaked out because it was like so new. And then I was like, Wiper.
Dang, that is so nuts. Going from Wiper to Splatling is very, very different. And you know what else is really different? The match that we're going to be commentating, folks. The match that we were originally going to hop into there with the fun names. I think they're having a little bit of a roster issue. Like, they don't have enough folks to play. So they're just going to have to forfeit the first game, which is very upsetting. 5 big booms. No, I'm kidding. Don't boom in the chat. Don't boom. Don't boom. Don't boom. But we are gonna hop into another one here, and we'll get those rosters up shortly for you. But we will be hopping into a game 2, which is interesting and fun. It looks like the map mode for that is gonna be Tower Control on Undertow Spillway. Now, Reef, are you a fan of Undertow Tower specifically?
I was despising Undertow when the game first came out. I despised it, and now I'm like,
wow.
Okay, I can play it if it's on Tower Control or Rainmaker. Then I'm good with it. I'm fine with the modes too. But when it first came out, I was like, that was my least favorite. I would have rather played Mincemeat. I would have rather played Eel Tail. I would have rather played Maki like day one, and I'm not lying. I've grown up a bit from then, but yeah, wow. I did not really enjoy it then. But now it's fine. It's like it. Whenever I played Ludi last season, and the summer one, not the one that just happened or is happening right now, the one that happened last summer. That's when I started playing Machine again, because I was, oh my god, I was playing Machine in Splatoon 2. That's crazy.
Whoa.
But whenever I picked that up for a minute in Ludi, I got like 20 kills on a Ludi match with Slashing Machine. I was like, oh, I forgot I like this weapon, and I forgot that this map isn't even that bad for it. So maybe I need to start using it again, and I did. So
I'm so proud of you, and that is such a slay. I mean, I don't like sloshing machines because I play junior and I can't fight anything, but I'm so happy for you here. And you know what else I'm happy about? These two
what are you happy about?
Segue. No, but really, I'm a fan of this Lobster Zone. Which is a team, by the way, because they hit Great White Bracket in SOS 180, which was in SOS years, not that long ago, which is pretty good for them. So kudos to them here. Strong contenders. They also have in their sendout bio, in quotations, Div 3 Ludi. So I don't know what that means. But I do know that on the other side here, we have pickup name here, which might be up there for one of the pickup names of all time for 2025, and the year just started, so that's great. But I do recognize one of the lovely. Oh no, continue.
Sorry, how are we ever gonna beat pickup name here, folks? I don't. We
no, I know. That's what I mean.
Let's just quit the comp. Let's quit the scene. We're done.
It's almost as good as pickup with a undercase P, and then pickup with a uppercase P. That were fighting one time. I think that was maybe when SOS was still double elim, but that was a good time. I like that. Pickup versus pickup.
And it was actually pickup versus pickup too. Pickup versus pickup, and the name was pickup versus pickup.
Yeah, and they were both pickups.
That's
and
crazy.
They were picking it up.
That's crazy.
They were picking up what I was putting down. And speaking of people who pick up what I'm putting down, okay, I'm gonna stop. B here on the side of pickup name here is the person who hosted the SOS format drinking event at Riptide. So I had to give them a little bit of a shout out there. Of course, only for adults only. Maybe we'll make a return here. We'll have to ask B. put your bets in the chat. But Reef here, these weapons are interesting. You talked about how, I mean, you like splatlings, but I mean, Heavy Ed is kind of like a splatling, and by kind of I mean it is a splatling. But on the side of pickup name here too, a similarly very standard comp. You know, we got the splash for the crabs. You know, the gal very good at dominating that space, and then pencil is always kind of a staple here. You always want that cooler. So Reef, they've already got that first checkpoint, which is huge. And by got it, I mean they're on top of it currently, and it looks like our little crustacean friends. Yeah, now they got it. Crustacean friends on the back foot here.
You know, I'm just looking at this comp, and I'm like, wow, Lobster Zone, loving this brush that's coming out. I'm assuming their thought process behind this is just because of the stamp that just got buffed, and it's tower control, and you can kind of do it, like kind of cheese it a little bit, where you throw the stamp on the tower, and then everyone dies, and it's like, wow. I'm gonna assume that's what their thought process behind it. Very surprising it's brush, but I'm here for it. And now they're pushing up, and almost a checkpoint 1 already. Almost done with that, I should say.
Yeah, and I mean, Drag here is like, I'm not even gonna let you do. What's the TikTok? Never mind. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. somebody will know what I'm trying to reference in my little brain here. But B, you already know, playing here, kind of be the little protector of the tower, trying to get their opponents off here. Again, our crustacean friends once again on the back foot. I mean, the Carbon's gonna go down here on the side of pickup name here, and so will another member, make that a 2-down situation too here. And B, fighting for their life so that they may come to Riptide this year. Poke, poke, I hope I see you. But again, our crustacean friends, the lobster zones, they are back onto the tower here, and that lovely hammer, like we just talked about, they're just gonna pop it, try to make some waves, and get this tower further to the next checkpoint.
I am always a fan of when I see a junior be a little bit like pushing the edges of what a junior can do. Did not work too well for them just then, but I'm always a fan to see it. But ooh, that bomb, that's been happening to me a lot lately. It's like I don't see a bomb actually. I don't know why I said I see it, because I don't see it and then I die. So
yeah, I need to return a bomb sniffer because I'm not sniffing any of those bombs, and it is it's a serious problem. It's a little bit embarrassing here, especially as a junior player, but B, you already know, gonna get a huge pick with the crab, effectively pushing out lobster here as well, getting up into their space, into their spawn as well here. B, no B, they're getting 3v1 in the spawn, no, and they're gonna get taken out, but still their teammates here, pick up name here, more like lead here. Oh, that was terrible, Reef. Oh, that was real bad.
Hit it, girl. But yeah, it looks like Lobstone is fighting for their life right now, trying to keep that, trying to keep them back. But I mean, they're 2 down right now. We'll see what happens. This drag over here with the Carbon, getting all the chip damage they can, backing up a little bit. I don't know. I'm trying to predict what they're doing. I can't even see it. This boss comes in, picks them off. Yay! And that was a count. So
that was it. Oh, that was it. Okay, okay. Well,
yeah,
let me. I was waiting for you, Reef. I was waiting for you. No, but I mean,
God, my bad.
A pretty good game for them. Like, I feel like they were, again, like a lot of the time when we see pickup plays, it's kind of like a little awkward to get that synergy going, unless you have like a consistent pickup group kind of going. But still, pickup name here. They didn't even need a name. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I said I would stop the last time, but now I'm really gonna stop. But no, really, like, I mean, we could see B was pushing up, and they took the attention of 3 players. I felt like 4 players, like in their spawn, and then that allowed them to get through the second checkpoint, which isn't the hardest one. I mean, definitely the last one's the hardest. But I mean, it's still really tough because you're overlooking like the little grates area. So getting there and getting past there, especially when you're staring down the barrel of a heavy edit, which Lobster had, really impressive. So again, good plays. I felt like they were following up off of each other's aggression too, really quickly, which again, wouldn't expect a lot in pickups. But I mean, it's 1-1 here, Reef, because we didn't see the game. We didn't see game 1 there, yeah. But Lobster Zone, they did win that first game here. But I mean, maybe because it was zones, and they're just a big fan of zones here. But going into Clan Blitz, Inkblaw Art Academy, this is where the coordination's really going to count. Like, you got to get that clan economy stat if you want to do anything.
Exactly. Clan Blitz is like, I'm always thinking about how everyone's always hating on a Clan Blitz and like, oh, I hate it so much, it's my least favorite mode. And I think it's just such a problem because it's a good game mode. It's just, it takes so much team coordination for you to excel in it. Like, you need to be communicating to mates. You need to say, I need 1, I need 3. I'm flanking, someone watch me so I can get a jump or whatever. Like, you have to be talking, you have to be on your A game with communication. And then also just paying attention to your game too. It's not just communication. You also have to be looking around, looking at to see whenever there's a little like blinking light on the map showing that there's a clan right there. I mean, on the actual game too, but you know, on the map, it's all there. It's just a lot at once. So honestly, I feel like Clan Blitz, even though there is like quite a bit of ways to cheese it, I would say it's like a good way to tell like if a team is a great team because they're playing together, you know, because that's what makes a team is playing together. So I feel like it's a really good show of like how players are able to talk to each other, especially if they're a pickup and they haven't really talked to each other before or really make any connections, because then they're just doing that like themselves, like on the moment, you know.
That's very true. Wait, are there 2 lobsters now? I swear there wasn't. No, there probably was 2. Y'all, I'm seeing shapes and colors only a little bit here, but I mean, similar comps coming out. Like, I don't see any changes on the side of pickup name here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But going, like you kind of said, going into clan blitz, it's gonna kind of be more reliant on that coordination, especially here. And we can already see, you know, the gal is already kind of stationed up here trying to get some pressure onto their plat from the ramp, and they're going to take out the pencil on lobster zone, which is huge. But that little crab spot on the left is very, very interesting because it does funnel the members back into mid and like stray them away from flanking onto like the left stack or something, but their teammates went down, so they weren't really able to follow up off of it, so it's kind of tough.
Yeah, I really, I love that spot for crab tanks especially, because it's just, you have all this range, you know, you can really reach anywhere you want in the map. I mean, not really, but you know what I mean. As we see here, though, lobster zone pushing in, they just got another ball, maybe getting another 20? I don't think so. But they have the ball ready. If they get some more picks, they keep the positioning up in mid, they can try to get another one going. We see Drag, Drag over there trying to flank, I guess, trying to get them back in their mid, and it seems to be working because V is also using their crab over on the left wall and seemingly putting everyone back up into their spawn a bit more.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like, the aggression is pretty good here, even when they get a little bit disconnected. Like, we see B here is moving around, you already know. And I don't even know who scored that power clam reap. I think they scored it and they went down, but I mean, still, it's kind of awkward when you kind of go into games where you're only scoring power clams back and forth, because you just kind of give each other pities, and it's like, oh, guess what I'm gonna do? Score another one. Ooh, now we're at 60. Like, it's kind of a little bit awkward here, but if that's all you can manage, that's all you can manage. And it's a testament to both of their defenses here, especially. And I mean, we're seeing 2 power clams in play. We see a brush in play. Lobster is going to be schmoving around here trying to get that power clam in, and they do. And if their friend can get them in here too, not quite able to because of that wall. Again, wall, it just it's so good, and there's a reason why Gal gets so much use.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I remember so many people in the second game being so upset, or honestly, whenever this game was coming out and they saw Galuga's kit, it was like, why is getting Kgal's kit? But then it's like a Galuga, so it's fine. Anyways, that's besides the point, though. We have Lobster Zone trying to keep up in mid and trying to keep pickup name here back in their base, kind of in mid, but more in their base now at this point. Lobster over here using the stamp, trying to get that shot from that buff, sharking under the ledge now here, just trying to look around, I guess, and see what's going on up there to try to get another pick.
Yeah, and I don't know, I feel like on TC sometimes for Inkblot, it's a lot easier to get back into the bats area to like lock them out in some cases, but for clams, I feel like you just can't really get up the ramp. It's hard to get up from that little ink rail into bats as well. So to be able to effectively push them back and really be able to get a lot of clams, get a really good lead going, it's really tough here. But we do see Drag, you already know, going to be able to displace the pencil, which is really, really good. It tears a huge hole into the defenses, which we saw because 2 of them went down and now 3 down. A little bit of a stagger for the members here of Lobster Zone. But they're going to take out B there on that crab, which is really, really crucial for following up off of that kind of a little bit of a stagger from Lobster Zone. So we're effectively back into a bit of a neutral position here. Like, I mean, Lobster Zone has the clams to make a push, but they are still going members down here. I make that 2 down as well, 2 of their front lines as well. And Lobster here is running around in the clam trying to get some help. I know.
Trying to live for their life, and apparently, I don't remember who was it, maybe it was Drag, who just was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna actually play the game now, you have fun over there in the left tree over there. But yeah, Madeline right here trying to position themselves right in front of that rim so no one pushes up. Ultimately, they get out-teamed, I would say. Drag over here just now on the plat, looking around, throwing claims they already have. Lobster with the brush, trying to get a flank. They work with their teammates to actually get something going there, but...
Yeah, that is very, very tough. Like, I feel like for Lobster Zone, going into this last minute here especially, it's like, yes, we have the pity clam, but for some reason there's 2 people in our bats, and we can't really get them out here. Like, they do manage to take off one of the members here, which is interesting that the heavy edit was in bats, but that worked to be pretty well for them, because, like, I'm looking at mid right now, and Lobster Zone is having a lot of trouble getting back in here, and B's, like, half to their crab, which means basically has the crab. Oh, and they recognize that and take them out there, Reef. 2 down on the side of pickup name here, and I mean, again, like, this is Lobster Zone's moment to try to retake this lead. They haven't picked up their pity clam, but the pencil has enough to try to build a power clam potentially here, but I think it's going to be a lot of communication, kind of like we talked about on Lobster Zone's part here. Madeline is well close to a power clam, but with Zipcaster too, I don't think they're going to want to be the one to build it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems with like who's gonna have it. And Madeline right here, they might try to go in and just do it themselves, but like it really is hard. Well, they're down now, so I guess it's not going to be them. Lobster over there trying to pick up the clam and running away from the ramp, using the same with the ball. That okay, that seems great. And they're all trying to get a lobster jumper. They get a ball in. Madeline trying to get it. They get a wipe. That seems like it'll be game right there.
They're spinning.
Dance party. Dance party at the Plaid.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but that was still really, really close. Like, I don't even know kind of what went wrong in Lobster Zone's push there. I don't know. I feel like it's tough if you're going in and it's kind of a little bit awkward of like, wait, who's gonna build the power clam? Like, I don't know. I could kind of feel that antsiness building up in them, which definitely led to them not having a super solid push through and like overtake of pickup name here's Plat, which then if you don't get their Plat and they notice that you're hesitating, they're just gonna bulldoze right through you, which is what we saw. I mean, all the specials got popped. None of Lobster Zone was really able to pop any of their specials either, and they did get that one power clam in, but I mean, as we saw, they just couldn't follow up at all. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and something else that I noticed too is that Lobster Zone wasn't really ever too heavy on painting the map, which I think is something that I notice a lot whenever I'm playing solo, honestly, is that like having map control is one of the like most important things, especially in clam modes too, because you get that extra bonus of seeing the clams all around the map if they're on your if you're on your ink color. So I feel like that might have been like a little bit of a fault, and also that pencil they were doing well with painting, but it was also the same time where it was just like a lot of the paint in places where it was a little off, I would feel like, from what I saw at least. But I would still say that was a pretty great game from both teams, and that was a great set to see.
No, definitely. I mean, I'm happy we could squeeze it in there. Even though we didn't get to see the first game, I would have been interested to see the zones though, because I mean, Lobster Zone, clearly they love zones. They love lobsters. Big crustacean fan. The crustacean station. I mean, I gotta know. I'm curious to know. Maybe one of them streamed it. I'm gonna go stalk them later, but
please. Maybe can find a replay code somewhere. Who knows?
Replay code. Listen. Listen, fun fact. You would know, Reef, because you are a lovely SOS staff member along with me here, but for the folks at home, we used to have a replay codes channel, and we recently retired it because nobody ever used it. So nobody uses replay codes, I feel like, which is understandable. It's kind of a hassle. Like, I don't know. Some people think it's a little tedious. I like the links, like in the Nintendo app, you can like link and then like you put it in a chat and then someone else can hit the link and then it downloads onto their app. Like, you don't have to type in a code, but I still think people don't really care anymore, which is understandable. Yeah. But
it's a great feature, and I love it personally, especially whenever I'm having a great game, and then I can, like, I'm laughing so hard at it. There was a match over the Splatfest where I wasn't being too nice. I'll admit that to the other team, but I was able to save it, and I sort of, like, it was a fun thing to share with my friends and be like, this was so funny, watch it. But I think in terms of something else too, that one of the things that Nintendo has done over this quote-unquote generation for Splatoon is they've really like upped their creativity, I would assume. It's not creativity because honestly it's pretty like standard stuff, I would feel like, where they're using this smartphone app in such a smart way. Like, I think over Splatoon 3, it might have been like right at the end of Splatoon 2, but they released that feature where you can copy your friend code from your app, or you can send a link to someone. I don't remember, but it was insane. They also have that thing where you can make a private battle early. Crazy.
Yeah.
That was cool, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, listen. You know what else is cool? I'm sorry. The next match. That's me. I'm like doing a little horn. Anyways, guys. PSU Blue, some collegiate rep here. You already know, going up against a Blitz Wave. My gosh, I mean, you already know, I'm in the collegiate space. I faced PSU Blue. Did I go 0-4? Maybe. Did I have a good time trying? Maybe not. But all I know is PSU Blue is a very strong team here for good reason. And I mean, I'm happy to see them here out in SOS as well. But Blitz Wave, on the other hand, is a team as well here. Definitely not collegiate. I think I would have recognized that they were collegiate here, but still a very, very nice team here. I know I recognize Neo for sure. But going into this next match, especially going into game 1, which is opening on Splat Zone's Hagglefish Market. is going to be very interesting because I, for one, know PSU Blue, they play the kind of comps where you're like, you kind of want to smash your head through your monitor a little bit, but like that's very smart because if your opponents aren't having a good time, you get into their heads, right? Listen, hear me out here, Reef. Hear me out, friends.
It's a mind game here.
Yes, it's a mind game. They're going to skill diff you. They're going to whale you into the ground. They're going to keep Zuka-ing you. And then every time you try to get them back, they're just going to be coolered up. Or you already know Vapor on, excuse me. Vapor on the Explo is just going to follow up off of them. And then you can't do anything.
That Vapor? I love Vapor.
Yes.
Vorpor, my favorite.
Big Vapor fan here, and you already know they have that lovely Explo, those two Explo badges as well.
I
here.
love Vapor whenever he's not in my lobbies, making me mad. But
listen, it's true here. And I mean, looking at Blitz Wave, going into a pretty like standard zones comp, I feel. I mean, if anything, I don't know. I feel like T-Tech doesn't get a lot of play a lot of the time, or the Octo Shot, the full legal name here. But you know, Heaven kind of going for like the Dread. You know, that zone cheese makes a lot of sense here. Zuka is well very strong, and Pencil. This is Pencil's like training grounds here, so makes a lot.
This is like the Pencil map. Whenever like I said earlier, when I would play Ludi season, my favorite mode was zones because I could go heavy edit and spam the life out of Cooler. And that might make me sound like a horrible person, and I don't care. It was so fun. Anyways, we have Snow on the side of PSU Blue, trying to get a pick off of... gets the pick. Striking over on the right side now, trying to help their teammates. They get another pick. Only one down still on the side of Blitz Wave. Just in mid. 3 down now. That's going to be the zone for PSU Blue.
Ooh.
And the white folks. It just keeps them building up.
I mean... Oh, that's really, really tough. And Vapor as well, setting up there on that ramp. The bomb's doing a really nice job of getting them out, though. I don't know, like, I feel like they're doing a pretty good job of getting PSU Blue out here. Like, the bomb, the coordinated attack there, especially with the strikes as well. PSU Blue maybe 2 down here. They're still holding the zone pretty well, sure. But with all these specials piling in onto the zone, and PSU Blue isn't running a cooler comp here, very notable, because you can run into them, and they have to play it safe, because they're not going to come back as soon as you will. So you have a huge advantage in a lot of fights here, especially in neutral here, and we can already see them taking advantage of that, trying to get Vapor as well here, which again, that back line, the backbone of your comp, you never want them to be going down here, but V trying to kind of defend them with their life as well here. But PSU Blue doesn't have the zone still, and Vapor, yeah, I just saw Vapor just went down as well here, so Blitz Wave looking pretty good going into... Oh, no, they went 2 down. Oh no. That's upsetting.
No, it's dominoing. But yeah, going back to what you said about Vapor not going down, it is very interesting how they don't have a cooler comp, but honestly, and while cooler is like the pinnacle, I would say, of the meta right now, and how it has been for like 2 years at this point, I feel like, honestly, with the Vapor, especially in his talents on Explo, that Expo, I honestly like it because you have that wall in case someone rushes you from the front. You have a splashdown to really get people off of you. I feel like it's a smart idea, and Vapor just knows how to play Expo. He's been playing it for years. So I feel like it would make sense if they don't want to do it and maybe not even run like another weapon just to get it cooler. I feel like this would make sense for them, and it's working out right now. They're in the lead. We'll see if Blitz Waves comes back because they do have the cooler, but we'll see what happens right here.
Yeah, and I mean, you can already see PSU Blue is not willing to give up that zone here, and they don't give it up. Oh, the Reef Slider. Oh, wait, but they still... The Reef Slider didn't cap the zone, Reef. That's actually crazy.
That was classic Hagglefish zones, if you ask me. Specials every 3 seconds. Everyone, like, kind of in mid, kind of not really. Like, they're kind of painting outside of zone. That was, like, if someone came up to me, like, what is the most Splat Zone Hagglefish market map game ever? Because someone would ask me that. Then I would send them a VOD of that exact match of the last, like, 5 seconds, because that is very stereotypical, and that's how I feel like we're going to play the map in solo.
That is so... Dang, I'm just thinking about that again, like... It does stink, but then again, they did also go 2 down, kind of in that zones fight. And if you're in a zones fight against a brush, it's really tough. And the fact that Vapor had respawned in that time to back them up as well, that's so much chip damage. Like, at that point, you have to take them out to be able to get the zone back. And then, of course, if you're trying to fight them, you can't pick the zone. So you're kind of just always stuck between a rock and a hard place. PSU Blue, like I said, like they played for they played for a lot of like chipping. They also played to definitely overwhelm for sure. And I think I definitely saw that kind of happening for, excuse me, for Blitzwave definitely. But going into Clan Blitz, I will say, is definitely PSU Blue's bread and butter. As someone who has faced them, I would say you never want to be in a set against PSU Blue when there's clams. It's definitely tough. And Barnacle and Dime too, it can be really lockout heavy. I think if you're Blitzwave, you've really got to like maintain mid at the start. Like be wary of like a hyper aggressive push and be very, very cautious of getting locked out. Like make sure that you're not letting PSU Blue take advantage of the fact that you want to run at them with with cooler as well, and kind of like, I don't know, try to like think ahead of them, because they're very strategic and good at Clan Blitz.
I would agree, and something I was thinking about too is if Blitzwave wants to take this home, or even just take a game off of PSU Blue, then they, like, the top 2 members on their quote-unquote hit list right now is Vapor on the X-Flow, and I don't remember their name, but whoever was playing Brush, because that Brush, I feel like what was happening a lot last game was they were trying to go for the X-Flow, trying to get their backline off the map, and then the Brush would come behind and then flank them, and they get a pick or 2, maybe even get 3. So I feel like they have to do that, and then also maintain the other 2 and make sure that they're not up to anything as well. So we'll see if that happens. Let's see. Game 3, please.
True. Heaven here, going for the decav. I love it though. I really, really love that pick. I think that's no. My commentator cursed that. But oh my gosh, and that was an amazing hammer throw as well. The pencil here really forced to kind of back up here with their teammates. Kind of what I predicted happened. They came with a really huge breakout push, I think before they could even pop cooler, which is generally what you see when you're going against a coolerless comp. They're like, I'm not going to even let you get that advantage on me here. And again, PSU Blue playing like a well-oiled machine here, being able to funnel in the members of Blitzwave right where they want them, and again, well-oiled machine like a conveyor belt going back for these clams to keep their lead alive here as well. So again, Blitzwave being able to get 2 members of PSU Blue here is really, really huge, but you gotta really stop like the, what's it called, like stop the bleeding. Stop the clams from coming in, especially because PSU Blue, if you give them an inch, they will just take the entire mile.
For real, that you give a mouse cookie, it does a million other things. I don't really remember any of the bugs. But V over here trying to use the Zuka over on Narrow with the pencil. V just trying to maintain their plat and keep some kind of presence up in their base. They take a pick off a bow, and they're just sitting over there now, watching their team, really just making sure that no one gets too far up in the mid or too far up into their plat and trying to retake that back. Vapor. Yeah. Oh no, Vapor. Vapor's
but Vapor going down. And Heaven going down, unfortunately, to that bomb as well here. What's interesting about PSU Blue is that they keep taking space despite their backline being down here. And I mean, we do see Vapor's back up already here, fighting in spawn with their teammates here. But they, like, if anything, sometimes they even get more aggro because they're like, well, we need to make up for the fact that Vapor isn't here to give room for us. We need to make that room and make it so that they aren't scared of us here. Reef, I was just talking about PSU Blue, and they completely KO'd. That's very embarrassing on my behalf. That is my bad here. But PSU Blue taking home this set 2-0 against Blitzwave here. But Blitzwave put up a good fight. Like, being able to get out of that lockout there at the start, like they cut them off like, I think it was like 44 points remaining or something, which is still really, really huge because PSU Blue had a whole setup. They had the wall from the gal, like top left. They had Vapor here, like shooting those shots, like wherever their teammates needed them. They had, like I said, like the conveyor belt perfectly formed with all the clams coming in, but they still managed to break out there. So very big moment there still for Blitzwave. Even if they lost that game, that was still a really, really good set for them. So I'm clapping in a circle. You can't see, but I think they still should be proud of themselves.
I mean, seriously, there's always a lot of times where people will just look at a score, see 2-0, oh, well, the other team got obliterated. Blitzwave just put up a very good fight. You may not be able to tell that by the score, but they were able to put up a fight. I'm not sure. I mean, I've never fought PSU Blue. You can verify this, Grace. Personal experience or not, wink, wink. But, I mean, just based off what I saw from that one game, PSU Blue excels in Clan Blitz. So the fact that Blitzwave was able to get up off their feet for even just a moment really did show that they were still in the game and they were fighting for the very last second, even if it didn't work out too well in the end.
Yeah, and another big shout out to Blitzwave. I had to go look it up really quick because I couldn't remember exactly, but this past Low Ink, so Low Ink March, they were third. Or rather, no, yeah, they got third. I see them in losers finals, yeah. So again, and they were the 32nd seed too. Okay, little miss, I'm playing above my seed. Okay, no, but really here, like, they played very well, and like that zones game was very, very close. It went right down to the wire too. So big kudos to them especially. And PSU Blue, again, playing like a well-oiled machine, like a comprehensive unit, like an amoeba. It's really hard to go against that there, but still put up a good fight.
Yeah, and I mean, just fighting against someone, especially like Vapor, who has had experience, they might have won a division. I don't remember, but they won a division on Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. But I'm just saying that's a very good, like, holding up against that, because I remember, and they're going to remember that for forever. I still remember I played when Proving Grounds was Testing Grounds in 2020 or whatever. I don't remember the team. It was like Frost Moon or something. I don't remember. But Azure Moon, I think. I don't remember. But I was able to hold my ground against them on my like Div 7 team, and I was able to actually like not get knocked out frame one on Zones Mako. So I was like proud of myself. So honestly, Blitzwave, be proud of yourself, because that was a great match.
Yeah, and something else that I really liked that you kind of talked about was, I mean, not to spread the SOS propaganda. Well, I guess I can, because we're literally in SOS right now. But that's what I like about SOS format. Yeah, we're literally. I did literally help start SOS, so I'm gonna speak my truth. But that's what I really like about SOS's format. I know it's not for everyone, it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I totally love and respect that, but I'm happy some folks do like it. Is that the groups into your own specific brackets gives you a chance to upset a team, or even just win a game, maybe get a really good push, maybe do something against a team that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to play against if you kind of play other tournaments. I like that about SOS a lot, and I like that it exposes you to different skill levels as well. So again, for Blitzwave, I'm happy for them to kind of have that moment against PSU Blue here. But Reef, we're already going into round 3. We're not taking a break.
Already?
Yes.
Full go, no stop. No,
Remix.
And I remember these folks.
I am ecstatic about this set because I recognize like everyone on both of these teams here. First of all, Worm Regards, forgive me. Worm Regards has some of the sweetest people ever. Apricot, you already know. Amber, banger artist. Sakura as well. Silver has been around for forever. They're all sweethearts. They have matching profile pictures. Are you kidding? And RRRemix, such lovely people. I know Lagoon plays in Collegiate. I know literally everyone on this team at their Riptide booth. We keep talking about lands today, but like they're all such lovely artists as well. And I love to see artists make a big splash in competitive as well. Kind of like Len, for example, where it's just like, you know how cool I am? First of all, I'm super cool. Third of all, I skipped a second. Second of all, I'm really good at the game. And third of all, I can draw really good too. So I always love those like those like triple, double threats especially. So I'm happy to be commentating the set as well here. Going into the first game here, Reef. Splat Zones.
On Zones Mahi Resort. Before we get that, I just want to say, Amber and I go way back. I haven't talked to them in like 3 years, but they were an emergency sub for me on Low Ink, like December 2020, if I remember correctly. Loved them. Anyways, Zones Mahi Resort. I remember this map because whenever I did come back for last summer, I played this in SOS, ironically, because you were like, oh wow, in my chat. But I played this and I went down in 30 seconds. And I remember the commentators in that set were like, we just talked for 30 seconds and the match is already over. So,
listen.
I remember a little bit of a happy moment, I would say, for me right now.
Listen, it does happen a lot on Mahi. I like how, I don't know, I think it's fun when the water drops. I like that we see it in competitive play again. Or not again. I don't remember in Splatoon 1. I'm so sorry. I wasn't in comp in Splatoon 1, but I'm just happy to see it, period. I think the map is super pretty. I like those big inflatable things in the background, as you can see them.
You can see right now.
Yes, and I like that a lot of stuff works on it. I feel like that's the case for a lot of zones maps. Like there's the cheeses, of course you're gonna go for the reef, of course you're gonna go for the strikes, and then like make sure that they hit the zone at the same time and all that stuff too. But still, like a lot of fun stuff can work too. Like zip is good on it. I feel like crab. Well, crab's kind of good on most things too, but crab's good on it too as well. And different backlines can work because you have a lot of cover as well. Like if you're going up against a pencil, you have a little bit of room to work with. You have space and cover so that you don't just get immediately two-tapped by them. But still, enough about me talking about how much I love it. Amber going for the tri-stringer, which is such a fun weapon as well here. And RRRemix going for a very fun comp as well here with Brat on the Jet Squelcher. Or maybe that's not fun, depending on if you hate Jet Squelcher, but fun to me.
I mean, maybe if you still have trauma from the last like few months of Splatoon 2, then it's not fun. True. I think it's a little fun in this game. Maybe not as much as it was, but RRRemix already going back into their base. We have April over here already taking ground on their snipe, making sure no one falls from that Inkling and snowballing into them taking back the zone. Backing up now, apparently, never mind, I forget what I just said. Sakura in their base, being a brush. Love the brush rep we're getting tonight. Every round, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Running around from that crab. Amber over on the snipe, just being a tri-stringer. They have those chumps ready in case anyone tries to push in, you know, try to help their teammates get that cover. Use it on the zone like how they're using it right now, since they can really tell that RRRemix is already coming back in, and they take the zone.
Yeah, and I mean, which is really, really big for them here, because I don't know, I feel like both of these comps are maybe a bit, why were they standing still? That was scary. April, are you okay?
Fine. Please no, please no.
I hope not. I mean, oh my god, what I was thinking though is that both of these teams are, I don't know, I'd have to think about it a little bit more, but at a glance, they're kind of on par with Paint. Like, I mean, Stamp and Wiper, I guess they're inconsistent for themselves like a little bit here, but still not super great at like pinning the zone, especially like if you're in a zone fight. That brush, and I mean, it's really, really tough to kind of go up against that there. And the brushes are just going to cancel each other out. It's a lot here. And speaking of a lot, Worm, I'm so sorry. Worm regards here, effectively locking out RRRemix in their spawn. I mean, they are going to go 2 down here, but it's kind of a matter of can they even get into the zone in time, because they're so far back in their spawn here. And they do manage to get it here. I mean, it's like, it's not quite flipped in their favor, though. Like, the members of Warm Regards do not want to let this set keep going. Oh, and Reef, they managed to flip it in their favor. I really didn't think that was going to happen.
I know if I was RRRemix, I'd be upset right now, because I counted like 2 or 3 times in that match where that should have gone neutral at least, and it just stayed. It just stayed.
Yeah.
Ooh, but the game goes to Worm Regards.
I know, I keep saying Worm, and I want to do them justice because it's such a funny name. I don't want to say Worm. They are worms.
I need to read it. I need to go Worm Regards. Worm. I love worms. They probably love worms. Whenever our lovely streamer, shout out to our lovely streamer, producer tonight, Justin, Pipe Dream. But whenever the streamers or just anybody like talks on our ears for a sec and is like giving us a live update, I love to say like the worms in my brain or like the voices in my head. So maybe they also have worms in their brain, and that's where the name came from. That's my headcanon. Oh, the worms. God, the worms in my brain.
The worms, they just spoke.
No.
They just spoke.
No, please no.
Listen.
They're telling me Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track is the next map in the set. I don't know if this is true. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm seeing right now.
Rotation. No, that rotation. That was a killer transition. That was really good. I like that a lot.
Ooh. That was so good. Like I never left.
Yeah, like you never left. Literally just right here the whole time. Listen, Reef. What do you think about Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track? Because that's one of the map modes that carried over from comp play from Splatoon 2 to Splatoon 3. So like, as a Splatoon 2 connoisseur yourself, do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you kind of like it? Do you kind of hate it?
I was, and I am a fan of it still. I must say though, this is like a Rainmaker map where you really do have to coordinate with your teammates, because it's a very good map for you to flank on. Because I feel like a lot of people are looking behind them a lot, so if you get the flank, then you're good. The problem with that, though, is if you drop and you go 3 down, excluding you, the other team has a one-way ticket to a knockout. So it's you really do need to talk to your teammates. And it's not like as much as what I've seen before with Clan Blitz. Like, there is, you still have to talk, of course. Duh. Obviously. But it's a little bit like, okay, I'm going to respawn, then I'm going to drop. So then people know, okay, let me not drop down to our plat. Let me not do this. So I stay alive and make sure that we have the extra line of defense in case we do have some more people go down than expected.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen some folks kind of push the left route, or rather like the weird route where you don't go through the ramp, or like the, what is it called?
Yes, the hop you have to do.
Yeah, the little hop. I've seen folks do that a few times actually, and I was very surprised by it. But generally, it's tough when you're going into a Rainmaker map that really only has one viable option, and it's like, they're just gonna always know where we're going. So you kind of have to always take that into account, especially here. April getting a huge pick. Make that a double there, especially onto Lagoon as well. Make that a triple. Oh, April, don't kill him. Oh, okay. Well, they took out. Well, I guess they took out our strongest soldier here.
Amber, ooh, there's that jelly over there. I saw that.
I was about to say.
Amber, just go, girl, go you. Anyways, get back on topic here, folks. 2 down, kind of 3 if you think about it, because one of them just got down a minute ago. Warm Guards did go ahead and get the checkpoint. Great starting push, but it's not that much. I can come over here and push the Rainmaker even further. The person that was fighting for the Rainmaker going down, they have the Zipcaster trying. Not enough time, they take the checkpoint. So RRRemix has the chance to take the lead right here. If this Carbon can be sneaky, I see them over there. There. Let's see. I think that's it. I don't know if we're gonna get it, but because also I'm pretty sure the shield is like right about to be popped in Warm Regards, my bad. Favor, yeah, I was right. But
whoa.
The carbon. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Amber,
that's a crazy place to go. Amber, okay. They're back in mid. They aren't going to accidentally give them lead. That's great. Oh,
Lagoon for the follow-up. That was actually a really smart play, though, because they panicked all the members of Worm Regards here. And they basically were kind of stuck hiding backwards to help their friend, to help Amber there, especially here. Brat opting to just kind of run that Rainmaker to get that lead here. 2v2 situation though, so could still go either way here, but I feel like RRRemix is going to wait to kind of gather their friends back before they do anything further here. But Andro here, trying to fight April, but April's going to get the upper hand, going to be able to take them out as well here. But Lagoon sharking once again here in mid, trying to get a pick again, but they aren't quite able to get it. Amber still lives to see another day here. But I mean, so far I've been seeing a lot of good teamwork for RRRemix, especially like pinching the members of Worm Regards here, especially like Amber is constantly being forced to kite back and like force themselves into a corner here, especially. And I mean, you never ever want to go there as a Rainmaker.
No, but also if I were to choose between each spot, like if my team is alive, I'm just a little like we're a little not. That's sad. That's sad.
And it's
we're
past the
DC
time.
rules too, yeah.
It's past the time.
We'll see what happens here. Warm Regards, please. Have mercy.
That is so unfortunate. Mercy. Listen.
Mercy on RRRemix souls.
Listen, RRRemix is still going strong here, though. They still kind of want to make
have the lead after remind myself that I did not catch that the first time.
No, yeah, and I mean, we kind of see. Soccer here trying to get a huge pick there with that flank, but still, once again, they're taking a book from RRRemix's kind of book here, where they're like, well, if we flank them, their attention's going to have to be on me, and then they can't really help their friend push up there with the Rainmaker here, especially with the DC. That is so tough here. But Days here still trying to be a little bit of a playmaker here in mid, trying to make something happen here, but the hammer is just going to force them all the way back. And I mean, there's only one person left to stop the Rainmaker here, and it's just the Jet Sculpture, so they can't stop them by themselves, and they're getting overwhelmed by the members of Worm Regards here. They're going to jump out here, which is a really good jump, and they managed to stop the Rainmaker, which I'm really surprised about here, Reef. But I mean, Lagoon here waiting. They're fiending for this kill on the pedestal, and they do get it, but they get wiped in the process. And I mean, Days here on this Carbon, they're just going to have to hope for a bit of a snipe kind of to happen, but they're just I mean, they're still doing a pretty good job of getting them out of here. Yeah, April has to back up as well, but I don't know, Reef, like it's
the zip caster. That's interesting. What are they going to do with this? I actually want to see what happens. Okay,
Oh,
I guess I know what happens now. But
I guess we do know
that's
what
so
happens.
sad. You know, I mean, we have to follow the DC rules, of course. But also at the same
Yeah.
time, that's really is upsetting because I feel like that would have been such a fun game to watch, you know, because like I said before,
Yeah.
with like the flanks and everything you can do, if you play your cards right, then you would be able to set yourself up to saving it even no matter what happens. So I am a little upset that's the outcome, but out it goes, I guess.
I know. That's just how the cookie be crumbling sometimes. That's how the worm, oh god, that's how the worm be regarding. That was real bad.
I really hope they're giving their worm regards right now in chat.
I know. Oh, and RRRemix, they were doing so well. I mean, we were talking about it. Like, the coordination was really good that game. The first game was really close as well. Like, they almost capped that zone. It just felt like a lot of like little moments, like little like micro decisions that really kind of made that set for Worm Regards. So if you're RRRemix, this is a great set to VOD, even if you still kind of lost there, and especially it was a little bit of an awkward situation too as well here. But thank you so much, our lovely again streamer producer Justin, for this lovely little overlay for us, kind of showing the perspective of how this group kind of panned out here. And it looks like RRRemix is going to be headed to Lantern because of that set there, and then Worm Regards is going to be in Mako. So good for them. But still here, very sad for RRRemix, but still they put their best effort. Like, it was not over till it was over. They put up a good fight. Like, usually in Rainmaker, if there's a DC, I feel like I'm getting KO'd immediately. So they did better than me.
Yeah, you just need to pray. You need to hunker down and pray for dear life.
Did you pray today?
Did you pray today?
Did you pray?
that's like the I like to imagine the Rainmaker, because like, you know, like how it actually is based off from real life. But like, you know, like a quote unquote god, and then it's like, did you pray today? You know, and like whispering, and then if it's a yes, okay, it'll be nice. No, guess you get knocked out then. Sorry. How the cookie crumbles.
Listen, but still, Reeve, I'm so happy to be joined by you tonight. I mean, we are gonna go to a break because we just ran through NSC's pools, aka the group stage of SOS here. So we're gonna be headed to Great White soon, and we'll have another set together to commentate. But until then, we don't really have anything else, so we're gonna go to a break here. But before we do, we do have a lovely thing to advertise. Can you believe it? The ever so lovely,
what is it?
The ever so beautiful MomoCon. MomoCon, it's beautiful. Look at it. Look at all those games that they have. And listen, let me tell you how cool it is. Well, first of all, it's going to be May 22nd to 25th, 2025, of course. This takes place in Atlanta. You already know. Atlanta peeps. Sound off. I was going to say sound off in the chat. I can't see y'all. I'm so sorry. Right now.
I'm going to trust you're sounding off right now.
Yes, I'm gonna trust. But MomoCon's super awesome. I think this is year 2 of us being there, Splatoon, or maybe 3. I'm not. Somebody will back check me.
I remember that because I think last year was the first time, because I remember people were like whispering it at the low tide. But I think it is the same time.
I remember here, but a lot of really cool stuff. I'll give you a bit of a, I don't know, like list of cool stuff that they kind of have going on here. They have $1,000 pop bonus for Splatoon. This is big for us.
Money.
They've got some awesome commentators who are going to be coming out here. Obviously, the list is a little hush-hush right now, so I can't tell you, but you'll be seeing that a little bit soon here. But not only that, but MomoCon, other than kind of other lanes that we have, you know, like Riptide, LTC, but it's a con. Like, it's a convention, so there's a bunch of other stuff to explore here.
It's the convention of MomoCon, guys.
Yes. It's the con in MomoCon. But like last year in 2024, they had 65,000 people there. So if you don't like people, that's a little freaky, but still it's a really cool experience here. Gigantic, huge vendor and artist alley, which I personally love. I love making my pockets hurt and getting stuff from artists. I love stuff like that. They've got amazing panels. They got a bunch of meet and greets with like voice actors. So if you're super into like anime, gaming in general, big good time for you, especially. And there's a lot of cosplays, as you kind of would assume with cons as well. And since the venue's super cool, there's a lot of easy access to food, shops, and a bunch of other stuff as well here, and easy access from the airport by rail or car. So it's a very accessible, very nice venue as well. So I have to recommend, go show up for Splatoon, show up for our friends who are TOing over there, and maybe sign up to and play for MomoCon this year. Once again, May 22nd the 25th. If you're able to, you should totally show up. If you're in the area or if you want to fly out, it's a great time. I heard it was really nice last year.
I heard the same things. I recommend it. I was at Low Tide last year, and personally, the thing that's selling me, that would sell me. I don't have money, but the thing that's selling me is the easy access to food over there. Because I remember Low Tide last year. It was fun. It was great. I recommend it if it ever happens again. Love it. But there was not that much access because we were in Round Rock, Texas, which was like 30 minutes, I think, from Austin. So there was like a little stretch thin. But you're in Atlanta, Georgia. So I would say if you have the chance to go, you should go because that seems like a very fun opportunity. I would love to go if I had money or the time.
Yeah, it's a really great place too as well. Like if you're looking for a little bit of a group to bring with you, this is like a super good hotspot for like anyone who's into gaming, anime. Literally, there's like something for everyone, especially the artist alley. I love artist alleys. You already know here. But Reef, I mean, we're going to take a little bit of a break because we've been yapping, first of all, about these lovely games and about MomoCon as well here. But I mean, I was going to say don't go anywhere, but maybe take a bathroom break or just have a little bit of a snack because it's still going to be a bit on the SOS side here. But join us back here in a little bit here for Great White Bracket. But for now, we're signing off for a little bit. Bye!
We'll see you guys in a moment.
Hello, friends! Welcome back to Swimmer Sync 185. My name, once again, is Grace. Same set of commentators here. I'm joined by the ever so lovely Reeve. Say hi, Reeve.
Hi.
Hi. You took a bit. I was scared. I didn't know if... I thought you were gone. I was flying solo. But
I was gone.
Listen. We are gracing, Grace. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta stop. It's been a problem all night. But we are gracing your screens tonight with a round 1 match from our Great White Bracket, which, if you don't know, what the heck's wrong with you? Great White Bracket is the top bracket here for SOS. So any folks who win their group, they get the most points out of their group, get the most wins, match wins, you already know. They go ahead into this Great White Bracket. So we are up against some really epic, cool gamers here. Hold on before we go. The Waiting Room is a really cool team. Echo used to be an SOS staff member. We love them. And Kagekoi, not used to, are really, really cool too. And they are also Div 2. So really cool teams here. You already know.
I'm so upset. If you're just tuning in now to Top Cut,
yes.
We've had an ink brush every single set, but apparently that's broken. So sorry.
Well, it could happen later.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let me not die yet. Anyways, so we have the Waiting Room already going 1 down. Kagekoi fighting for the zone. Apparently they're 1 down, 2 down now. Still getting points. Down to 95 now. 2 down. Are they gonna take it back? Let's see. I love the Hydra. Oh, I love the Hydra. I've been playing that a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, I am also interested by the Hydra pick. I feel like I don't see screening get a lot of play most of the time, which makes a lot of sense because a lot of people have a lot of, yeah, it's very unfortunate. Come on, Nintendo. But they do get taken out there. Well, that's Nintendo. They were like, all right, well, you asked, so
no screen.
You asked. But still, like, interesting comp coming out from them though. Like, I like the Tetris, very, very interesting, and then the Junior paired with Stamp as well. Like, it's a little bit of a chip kind of deal going on here, which I'm into. I'm very, very into it, and especially Echo on the Junior. I feel like I haven't seen Echo play Junior before, so again, big Echo fan. Happy to see it. And I mean, it seems to be faring pretty well for them here. They're trying to contest the zone already, and we already see Echo. Yes, lovely Junior gameplay, trying to cap the zone, and they do get it here. Again, a lot of a stagger situation going on for Kagekoi, Kagekoi here. And oh, nope, they took out Echo. They took out our friend.
Well, I know you're a fan right now, Grace. I know how you live your Junior. But I love that pick they got from that chip image. It was so nice. Anyways, going off what you did say, though, I love how they are pulling out the chip damage. That's a very important part of the meta right now, is having that chip damage and building off of each other. So that's going to be really fun to see, especially like how we just saw with Echo. Anyways, we have the crap over on the side of Kagekoi now, just trying to get picks. I did not say pit, folks. Whatever. They get a pick. They're now just walking around mid, trying to make sure, you know, everything's fine. I'm watching the backside, which is actually very important. That happens to me a lot, where I just forget about it, and then someone flanks, and then I die, and then I lose. So very important that doing that. It seems that Waiting Room's already trying to push pick in, and they failed this one time. Let's see if they are able to make a comeback later on.
Yeah, I mean, the Waiting Room, I feel like their comp lends itself pretty well to be able to break out. Like, the bubble helps with getting that space back, the zip as well here, but if you're not able to get those specials online here, especially if this crab is coming out here from Ileana, getting a huge pick onto Inko there, who is one of their big front lines, one of those people who's going to demand the most amount of space here especially. I mean, Echo here still trying to follow up off of that little bit of aggression that they did have with that bubble as well. The screen too coming out as well from their Hydra. I mean, they're trying to get back into mid here, especially because the points are ticking down, but they're not able to cap the zone in time. That was so unfortunate. I mean, like, some of it was painted. Oh, that looks like a Z. That looks like a Z in the zone. That's so cute. Oh my god, Pokemon ZA. Okay.
Oh my god, it's coming out tomorrow. Pokemon ZA tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, everyone, I actually have a Switch 2 right now. The winners of SOS tonight get 8 Switch 2s. No, I'm kidding. Could you imagine? That's like $1 million. That's like my that's like all of like a paycheck. Like, that's so much money.
Oh, like, please save us. Please save us. Please save us. Anyways, we're now moving on to Rainmaker Museum D. Alfonsino, one of the most fun names in the series. Grace, how are you feeling about this map? What do you think about it?
Oh my gosh, Reef, that is so silly that you just said that to me. This was actually the map I was most excited to see. When the like Splatoon 3 trailers were coming out, I was like crying and like kicking my feet and like running around and like climbing up the walls I was really excited to see Museum come back, but wait, the teams are also really excited to see Museum. They are ready. They are locked in. They love these
are we seeing Hydra again? Please, please.
Oh yes, we are. The same comps. I don't remember what Kagekoi or Kagekoi played here.
I'm pretty sure this is at least pretty relevant to what they were running last game, so that's fun.
That is very,
that makes sense.
fun.
Also makes sense for the fast queue time, but
listen, true. They already know what they kind of want to do there. I mean, the Tetras going for the early flank, which as Tetras do there, they are going to really quickly get called out, which is good on Kagekoi here, going for, like, I don't know, like, a really aggressive kind of start here. They're playing together. They pop that crab really soon as well, and they're fighting in the bubble that Echo just popped, getting a triple. Huge opening for them as well. Coolered up, too, so now they're just going to go right onto that first checkpoint, I bet. Yeah, I mean, they have to jump out as well, have to give them all that space because of all the pressure that they're doing, and all the space that Kagekoi is kind of demanding here as well, Reef.
Yeah, I mean, already 2 down, or 3 down, sorry. They throw a screen. Maybe that can help try to fight them back. I know some people would prefer to stay away from the screen, but also people just rush right through it, take the damage, take the disability that brings along with it. But the screen's gone, 2 down. It looks like it's perfect time for them to finally make a last-ditch effort, and they don't. There's only one left on the end of Kagekoi, and that might just be the end of that push.
Yeah, and I mean, the cooler is going to help them sustain at least a bit of that space. Like, I can already see 2 members are already back here in mid, being able to fight and contest the members of the waiting room back, being able to keep that kind of neutral still in their favor a little bit here. But they're pretty willing to give the space, which I think is smart, especially. Hello, how did they get up there? Vivian, what do you? Oh no, they get taken out. That is so unfortunate. I feel like that reef slider could have made a lot of waves, but I don't know. Like, Kagekoi was like ready for it, surprisingly enough. I was not ready for it. I didn't even know how they got up there.
Hydra or something just did you see that? That like actually like 180 flipped to the other color. That was insane. I don't think I've ever seen that.
No, that was so nuts. And Ileana there getting a huge double with the crab, opening up all that space despite the waiting room getting that the pop like we talked about. Is so crucial for them. And again, like, Kagekoi's in a really good place here. The waiting room hasn't even been able to pick up the Rainmaker here, Reef, this entire game. And I mean, they're still contesting mid really well. Like, the Pencil as well is contesting the Hydra back, which is a lot of the time why you don't see these other, like, I was gonna say like fun backline picks, but I would say like different backline picks, because Pencil just shuts you out completely.
Yeah, it's hard to get up there with Hydra. And I mean, I know since I said earlier, I've been trying to 5-star all spell links, and it's tough sometimes when you have to fight a Pencil. There's not much else the game gives you on your comp. It's hard. But I really feel for this person right now, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, Inko go down with that zip catcher. They take the lead. Thank God Commentators first were right there, because now we have a better game to be looking at right now, folks. Yes!
Yeah.
The Drought over here with the Pencil, just trying to pop it real quick. Love how they were spamming that. And now they're just, I guess, looking down. Surprised they haven't dropped it down yet. There they go. They drop it down.
Oh.
But
and I mean, that's like the classic spot, or like on that platform next to about where they were. That's like where people go to like stall it out for a little bit too. So, I mean, that's just kind of a tough position to kind of come back from here. But
this seems like
they're in a bit of a stat right now. Oh, but they go for the lead a little bit too hasty here. I feel like their fellow friends here, the members of Kagekoi, weren't really able to follow up off of them here. I think the zip is really gonna wait. Did you notice that, Reef? Gabe?
They just used it for
they popped the zip to get the ink tank. And that worked out in their favor there.
This is some thinking, folks.
Listen, that was
like... brain here.
That was like thinking like 8,000 steps ahead, which was really smart from them. I mean, it didn't quite get them in the lead there, but still, Gabe, that was a killer play. Kudos to them. Like, that was so crazy.
I mean, seriously.
Listen, the Drought is doing what Pencils do best, popping those coolers, being able to support their teammates a lot with all that paint, all the pressure that Pencil already has here. And I mean, Vivian out here coming with the Reef Slider, but it kind of overshoots them. They're not really able to get Gabe here, but they're effectively pinched. Like, they're stuck in between that wall, they're inside the bubble, and the strikes are going to be able to kind of help them get in here. And they do get the lead. I was about to say that they didn't quite get it there, but an arm as well kind of enabled because of that, a little bit of the blind spot because of the Rainmaker, like, respawning with the bubble there, able to get a pick as well. And again, Echo here with this Junior, getting a lot of room with the screen, pairing up because of the Hydra, because of their friend. But they can't really break out into mid yet. Like, despite all the picks that they got, the members of Kagekoi came back so much quicker because of the cooler, and they just already have overtaken mid right just like that.
Yeah, I mean, some things too, I'm looking at, I'm like, wow, I'm surprised I didn't do that, but also I have to remind myself, we have the hindsight of this, so it's really interesting to see how these players are like looking and just reacting on their feet. Because especially in Remaker, you have to be on your feet to be playing this game and really like excel on it. You can't like be dwelling on what just happened. Echo over here trying to fight the junior, get that aggro junior out, and the Slosher arm over here taking them both down. And it looks like, yeah, that'll be it. That's it, folks.
That was a very, I mean, the first game was pretty convincing in my opinion there, but the second one was really, really back and forth. Big kudos there. Good win from Kagekoi, Kagekoi. Someone's gonna get me. Someone's gonna get me.
We're so wrong either way.
I know. Could you imagine? It's just not even. Our little koi fish friends here. We don't quite get to see a game 3, but still a really, really good set for the both of them as well. I mean, we already know that our little koi fish friends here, they're Div 2. They don't got nothing to prove here. They've already.
Yeah, this is the tournament for them. This is for them. This is their stomping grounds. I won't say stomping grounds, but you get the idea.
No, exactly. Like this is a lot of the space where folks either practice if they're still in Ludi, or they just kind of practice out comps. They practice different play styles that they want to try out. I feel like SOS is a lot of people's kind of grounds for just doing weird stuff. Like, yeah. I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but Storm was only playing oh crap, what was it? It was, no, I'm blanking. It was a really funny weapon, and everyone thought it was very funny, and they were like, I get $50 if I win with this very silly weapon, and they did not win, which is upsetting. But still, I like that SOS entices people to do that. It was Nova. I think it
also is. Oh, it was Nova.
Yes,
that's
it was
such
Nova.
A fun weapon, honestly, if you ask me. But I think that really does just so, and obviously it's a bit like less of a, and we are biased, we are staff to us, but I think it really just go to show how this format works and how I like it personally, because you have the opportunity to like go safe for a bit, try out some weird comps in a tournament setting with the groups, and then depending on whatever fractions you go, you're like, okay, this worked, maybe let's try this again to see if we can work in even a higher stake setting, or we can play it safe and play what we usually do and try to get a result from this, and then, you know, just add that to your growing list of, I did good in this. So yeah, that's what I like about it compared to the double elimination format we had, where it was like, you have practice, you do, and you get to build connections, but also you do have to like always be like a little wary, especially if you drop down losers bracket. So I feel like this is a good like mix of both of those two ideals, I would say.
Very, very true. But Reef, our time is up here. We have another lovely pair of commentators coming up after us here, who's going to take you through the rest of Great White here, starting with round 2. But the next set is ready, so we got to skedaddle, Reef. But before we do, do you have any places to shout yourself out at? Like, give yourself a little love? Where can people find you?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter. My ad is right there on screen. There's 4 E's. I've counted them. I'm pretty sure it's 4. I don't know why it changed, but
yeah.
Underscores on both. And then I also am on Blue Sky, Reef, and I think it's the first or second. I don't know. One of the E's is a 3. So that's where I'm at. Or you can just go to IPL's Blue Sky, and then I'm mentioned there if you scroll down a little bit. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Where can they find you, Grace? top³? Wink.
Oh God. That's my legal name. Don't call me that. No, I'm kidding. But you can find me many of the times in the SOS help desk, maybe in your match chats as well some weeks. But you can also find me on Blue Sky at top³.bsky.social or whatever it is, and also on Twitter, but I don't really like it over there. But also at top³. But that's it for us for tonight. Thanks for having us, and enjoy the rest of Great White Bracket. You'll be up there with Frostix and Par 2. So enjoy your evening, and we'll be right back.
It's going to be some great sets. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to more Swimmer Sync 185. The commentators have been switched. I am Frostix, joined by Part 2, and we are here to get into round 2 of Great White Bracket here. We are seeing Quack and Ball Up Top cubed. Part 2, how are you feeling going into this?
I'm feeling pretty good. We're in the bracket stage. We're in the second round, right? I'm a little bit disoriented, but it's fine. I'll make it work, and I'm excited to see some good old-fashioned Splatoon on Hagglefish zones.
Oh, definitely so here. It's a pretty good icebreaker map. Very flat, not a lot of verticality, but still allows for a lot of aggression for a lot of the premier frontliners that are kind of seen right now. You tend to see a lot of your usual wipers, maybe your carbons, and of course your typical subject shooters. After zones Hagglefish, we're going into the meat of the zone sandwich, Clam, Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime, and the zone. Oh, not even a zone sandwich. Is this really TC Shipshape? It's not TC Shipshape. Apologies on our end. It will be a zones map for the third and final match of this best of 3 set.
Well, regardless, we are going to be seeing quite a bit of zones. Regardless, it looks like it's actually going to be Brandwater Springs, which I don't think that those weapons that you were mentioning before are necessarily the same picks that you pick on Brine-Water, right?
Definitely so here. Brine-Water has a really interesting play structure in which you're all just kind of siphoning in to just the central area of mid and Brine-Water.
Yeah. There's a lot of more long-range weapons that tend to be pretty pickable on Brine-Water, even with the extra terrain that's been added to the map over time. I still find that this is one of Pencil's best maps, for instance, so I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing that. I wouldn't be surprised to seeing some mid lines take advantage of the sight lines.
Yeah, definitely so here. Brine-Water, at least the area that has the zone, the area that the zone is in, does not have a lot of cover fire necessarily. The most cover that you can get is either back in your spawn area or into the 2 pits on the far ends of the map here, and you're pretty far from zone if you're in those areas, in those little divots.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is also definitely potentially a pretty brutal lockout. While there's not a whole lot of room to move from the spawn location from where you respawn. So if the enemy team is able to push up that far, getting back into the zone is going to be really difficult, especially if the defending team has to push through a cooler as well.
Exactly, and you were mentioning that this is one of Pencil's best maps, and I would definitely not disagree with you, simply just because it can cover so much area and so much sight lines with the amount of range it has and the amount of chip damage it can output, as alongside, of course, the illustrious tacticaler that the vanilla Snipe Rider has.
The illustrious and absolutely, I wouldn't say mandatory at all times, but, recommended at the very least. That being said, I feel as if for the other maps we might end up seeing some different things, but we'll get to those when we get to those as we're loading in right now. Let's see what they're bringing.
And we're seeing Rosa on that Pencil. Definitely, I have recalled seeing Rosa being really useful with that Pencil. And V3 Moon and Moon is has the Pencil on the side of Ball Up Top cubed. I'm noticing we're seeing Noff with the I think Paintbrush and Nouveau on the side of Ball Up Top cubed. We're also seeing the 96 Deco, so we're gonna see some Kraken action, at least on the side of Quack, and Quack in particular has first cap, and they're holding mid pretty effectively, but Ball Up Top cubed has a lot of weapons that could apply a lot of pressure from range. Here come those tri-strikes here. Jay looks like to be under fire from those strikes, but they're holding that crab strong, and Zone is still in their possession. It's 86, Zone is in neutral. That being said, the splash has gone down, but now Moon has gone down. No more cooler for Ball Up Top here.
No more cooler, and now we're going to be going into Quack's hold. Right now they're leveraging their specials, trying to bully up the remaining stragglers from Ball Up Top cubed to get into their area. And now that the Pencil is set up, now we've kind of got that lock situation. We're going to see if Ball Up Top cube can push out of this.
Yeah, exactly here. We see Specs out with that Stamper making use of the ledge cheese. that Stamper can do. They do look like they're in a pickle, especially considering that Rosa has gone down here. That is their backline as well as their Soda options being removed, but Jay is standing stalwart. They will be able to take out Remontada with that crab, but Quack is 2 members down. It's looking like this will be a zone flip, and now Ball Up Top will get the cap. Oh, Jay's managing to jump out just in time, but Nop's got some missiles ready to go. This could cause some havoc.
Paintbrush, I've been seeing this being picked more and more, being able to provide a whole bunch of paint with that extra swing speed, really helping it out recently, and having the missiles as a reliable disruptive option. It's been particularly viable. I completely agree with the choice here.
Yeah, not to mention it's just there's immense pressure with that, like you said, the recent buff here. We're seeing Adam with the the T-Tech here, not managing to get the strikes up yet. Meanwhile, Jay is just outputting crabs like no tomorrow, being able to take out Adam. That's no strike for Ball Up Top cubes, and it's a zone flip for Quack here. I think the Stamper is in the house here. I think they're managing to take out the pencil on the side of Ball Up Top here. That's definitely a good pick if you're on Quack. That being said, though, Knopf has missiles, but Quack has deployed the Kraken. Can Bounce get Knopf? Bounce jumps out! Bounce falls into the water. They still have the lead, though. It's 55-66, but the lead is 10 points within. It could be close as the zone once again goes into neutral.
Into neutral, and now there's a huge number advantage for Ball Up Top Q. This is a good opportunity for them to work out the rest of their penalty points, which aren't very high right now, so they could easily get a lead swap here with just 11 simple ticks of their score.
Now we just need to see whether or not Quack can break out of this lock that Ball Up Top Q has set as the lead has been swapped. Bounce has deployed the Kraken. It gets cancelled by a timely bomb from Ball Up Top Cube. Rosa will be able to take out Knopf, though. It's pick for pick right now. Jay has deployed the crab once again. This crab output that Jay has is insane. They're already able to take out Remontada and Knopf. That's 2 picks for Jay here. Specs out is on the scene. Can they get the rest of Ball Up Top Cubes? They will be able to recap zone, but now the lead could be a little bit further to chase. It's 55-33. They are almost out of their penalty points, though, Spark. Oh.
Almost out, but there is still going to be hope. There is tri-strikes coming out. There are missiles. A Wavebreaker is going to be on the way as well. There is going to be... They managed to flip the zone nice and handily with all that paint output, but now all of the specials are up for Quack, so they're going to retaliate in full force except for going 2 down.
Yeah, exactly. Remontada is taking the fight over to Quack here. Rose is trying to run away from a weapon like Squelchies that can be surprisingly mobile for a midline roll. But that's just... And now, being outnumbered in the fight, they are going to go down here. It's 1 down on each team's. Ball Up Top Cube still holds the lead. They're almost out of their penalty points, and now they are going to start counting down here. Jay does have the crab. That could be useful for retaking it. Can this work for Quack?
Looking like the answer is yes. This Quack is opening up a huge opportunity, and more specials are coming online as Ball Up Top Cube is going to need to respawn. They're going to need to push through at least 2 specials, possibly 3. Never mind, the 96 goes down, and that's going to be a pretty good windfall for Ball Up Top Cube to get back into this game.
That being said, though, Rosa has gone down. That's no soda for the side of Quack. Spec Zhao is popping the Zipcaster. The strikes have come out from Adam here. Zone is looking to go into neutral. The lead has been swapped. Quack takes the lead with 30 seconds left. It's just Adam left on the side of Ball Up Top Cubes. They need to make this push work. They need to make a retake work fast, but Jay has the crab here. They're holding down the zone, and that's the knockout.
BG, absolutely nice back and forth going for this first game. These teams are very, very evenly matched, it's looking like, but Quack going to be able to prove that their defense is stronger right now, leveraging that rapid grab output to their advantage in order to secure the win.
Yeah, exactly, Jay. I remember seeing them a lot within their past pickup bucket. I think Rosa was with that as well here, but Jay was really good at outputting so much specials that can be very useful. I think I remember seeing them a lot on T-Tech before. Now we're seeing them on what I think was Splash-O-Matic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that crab, of course, is always a force to be reckoned with no matter the situation. We're going into Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track for game number 2 here. I feel like we're going to see a little bit of a switch up going into, at least in terms of the comps.
It's entirely possible. I really like the idea of heavy edit over pencil on this map in particular because of how scrappy it can get. Though pencil can still work, I could see both teams still potentially using it if their comp still relies more on pencils combos rather than the heavy edit's general ability to play aggressive. But Rainmaker is definitely a map where, especially on Humpback Pump Track, you kind of need to be able to move at a breakneck pace in order to shut your opponent out of the game.
Yeah, exactly. If you are slow, you won't be able to. If you're focusing more, a little bit more on firepower, you're lacking the amount of aggression or mobility needed to at least navigate throughout a lot of the, I'd say, choke points that Rainmaker Humpback has. As soon as you land that first checkpoint on the right side that I see a lot of teams like to go to, you're faced with a really, really tight corridor going into that final second checkpoint here. And if you're not running weapons that can be at least quick on their feet, say like something like, oh god, I'm gonna mention it again, say your carbons, your wipers here, you're just gonna be an anvil here, and you won't be able to break out. Next thing you know, you can be gunned down.
You could also end up leveraging a whole bunch of indirect damage as well. Blasters and buckets can also have a huge effect on this map with how much cover and like the sloped terrain can get in the way of normal shooting weapons. So if you're able to leverage those, especially with the specials that some of them provide, like the Booyah Bomb from S-Blast or Vanilla Slosher's Tri-Strikes, then that could also make up for not having quite the same speed.
Yeah, exactly here. As long as you can perhaps strike a balance between speed as well as maintaining a little bit more explosiveness, considering this is Rainmaker. The more, surprisingly enough, the bubble is a bomb when you think about it.
Yeah, it kind of can be, can't it?
Yeah, exactly. Just one big bomb. I've seen insane plays go out with the ever so unseen Ink Vac alongside the bubble.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just
and justice for Ink Vac. It's one of those special that you like when you see it be used like very effectively. It is just a highlight of the match and perhaps even the set as a whole here.
I almost feel as if it is like just one small change away from actually being a relevant pick. It just kind of needs the one change that everyone says that it should have. I don't think I even need to say it out loud. I think you're thinking exactly the sort of change it needs.
You know what's crazy? I'm not. I have no idea what you're talking about. But here we have no more time for thinking, and we're going into Humpback Pump Track Rainmaker. We're actually seeing the same comp from Quack here. That being said, Knopf has switched from the paintbrush to the carbon roller. We're seeing that mobility that we were talking about earlier. Let's see what the two teams have in store here. It's set point for Quack.
Point for Quack. The choice to bring out the carbon roller over the missile paintbrush, I think, is a smart idea. You have the Tri-Strike and the ability for roller to take advantage of the terrain super well. Already we're get a 2-down situation, and Ball Up Top is looking very, very strong going into this as specials are starting to come online.
Exactly here. And here comes the Tri-Strikes first from Adam. Moon will get that Rainmaker. The Wavebreaker is also out of from Ball Up Top here. But here's that corridor we were talking about. That choke point is nasty to deal with, especially when there's a Kraken from Bounce surging in and out here. There's already 2 down on the side of Ball Up Top. Meanwhile, Quack has already popped the Rainmaker and potentially have a retake on mid in their hands.
That's looking pretty good right now. The Rainmaker drops in, and they've got some specials on the way. The Crab is going to be ready very, very shortly, and they're likely going to be using it in order to get this checkpoint and be able to pop the shield in order to keep this going.
Definitely so here, but if you use the Crab to pop the shield, I'd say you're maybe missing out on his firepower into going to a push. As we're seeing right here, the presence that Quack originally had was immediately lost as I think that was Specs Out going down, and Knopf is now running away from Bounce here. They are assisted by I think the pencil on the side of Ball Up Top Q, but now Bounce and Jay are in a dire situation. They're being forced to relocate in mid, but Jay just has another Crab ready just in case you're in a pinch here. They are going to go down to Knopf though, even through the Crab armor here. Ball Up Top has set the lead 31-60.
Yeah, but it is still far from over, though. We are not even 2 minutes into the match, and this Zipcaster is now going crazy. The 2 down on the side of Ball Up Top. Now for Quack to be able to push through past the checkpoint and potentially get the lead back.
Oh, but they will go down here. They are going to make it to 40, and Bounce is still in Kraken form. They are impervious for a bit. They are still invincible, but here come the Crabs. Oh, no, the Crab. The Tri-Strikes from Adam that will displace Quack a little bit, perhaps as a distraction for Knopf to get it in a better position. That being said, though, the pressure is still on Ball Up Top. Specs Out will get the dive onto the pencil as perhaps desired here, and they are able to land safely. Quack still is in control of the Rainmaker. Can they get the specials necessary to clear this choke point?
That's looking like they might be a little bit close. The Pencil's cooler is about to come online from the look of it, and it looks like they're going to have the Kraken as well. But though that by itself is not going to break this stalemate when Azuka and a cooler is going to be throwing you down right now.
That being said, though, I think they are going to at least get rid of 2. They made it to 32. There's a 1-point differential between Quack and Ball Up Top. Shout out to Ball Up Top Q for just managing to hold down the line here. There's a 1-point differential, like I said earlier, and now they still hold the lead. It's 1 point. They may, I think, Ball Up Top's perhaps looking to at least push the lead further. That way, it's not that close, not down to a wire like that.
The Tri-Strike online with a Crab to potentially answer it. Ball Up Top is going to look to potentially extend the lead, maybe make this differential a bit harder for Quack, or just end the game outright. If you don't have to play the remaining 2 minutes, it's better than having to stall it out for the entire rest of the duration, giving Quack an opportunity to get back in.
If anything, Quack is 2 members down, actually. They managed to shut down Jay's Crab Tank, but here is Bounty. They're still holding down that line with the 96 Deco. They are going to go down to Remontada. That being said, Quack's Spec Zao does have the Zip Caster ready to go that can disrupt Ball Up Top's push going into this. They are going to extend their lead to 23. Ball Up Top Q managing to push ever so further. The wire is no longer there.
Going to be a little bit tough. There is a special advantage right now for Quack. They're going to use the Crab in order to try and get some space back, but it ends up getting denied. This is going to end up being a slow advance for Quack in order to try and get back into this game with a really good Kraken pick here, actually giving them a huge opportunity.
Yeah, here they are able to at least get through mid, but once again, we return to the dreaded first checkpoint chokehold. Ball Up Top does have Tri-Strike. They also have Cooler ready to go. Ball Up Top Cube is souped here, and Quack is being relocated back into mid. They've taken some chip damage, I think, from Moon, and the Rainmaker holder does go down with around 30 seconds left on the clock.
Not trying to get into position, trying to get into sharking locations to get Quack out of position, and looking like it's slowly turning back into Ball Up Top's game. Quack, it needs to find an opportunity. They only have a Zipcaster right now, and they're not very close to their other specials right now in order to get the Rainmaker anywhere, especially now that it's reset. They need to put something through right now.
Do they have enough time? They need to make a push work into overtime, as Rosa will pick up the Rainmaker. They're under fire from Moon. Overtime will start now, and Quack needs to make this push work lest we go into overtime. But Rosa is under fire. They will be able to take out Moon. The Tri-Strikes, all of Quack managed, most of Quack at least managed to dodge it, but enough coming in right when Ball Up Top needs it, shutting down the Rainmaker, as Ball Up Top will put this game to 1-1.
And we will be going to the other end of the zone sandwich after all, with Ball Up Top now making really good use of the carbon switch. I just saw constantly Knopf going into those sharking positions in order to catch premature pushes, and while it didn't always pay out, it paid off when it mattered. And now we're going to a game 3 on Splat Zone's Barnacle and Dime. What do you think about this one, Frost?
Oh man, Barnacle and Dime definitely is one of those more open maps here. I think look, it's, I don't want to say it's similar to Brinewater Springs, but it has a lot of open sight lines as well that a lot of mid lines could take advantage of. I'm thinking, of course, like stuff like Head It, a lot of Splatlings, if you ask me. But of course, you mentioned the importance of stuff like Sloshers, like Blasters. I think Sloshers play really well on Barnacle and Dime as well. It has a lot of ledges that Sloshers can play around here. Stuff like V Sloshers, stuff like Dreadringer could play really well here on Barnacle and Dime.
Oh, I know for a fact I love playing Dreadringer on this map, but I have a feeling that we're probably not going to be seeing it with what these teams are comfortably running. We didn't see any switches ups in Humpback Pump Track, aside from the Carbon Roller from Nox being swapped off the Paintbrush. I'm not entirely sure if you stick with the Carbon Roller for Barnacle and Dime. I could see it work because this is a fairly good Zuka map, but at the same time, I think having the missiles could also be a really good asset, especially for locating people where you might not know where they are.
Yeah, especially considering Ball Top Cubes, they do still have a lot. They actually have a pretty info-heavy comp. They do have that Wavebreaker, that Remontada Sports, and there is the Paintbrush switch, like you were calling earlier, part 2. Very interesting for Ball Up Top. Can they get their zone revenge for game number 3 and move forward, or will Quack up the ante after losing game 2?
It was looking like it's going to be an early control from Quack as that wall ends up buying them a lot of space with the 96 gals of pressure. The zone hasn't flipped quite yet, and it turns out the Stamper is going to be the first one going down. So now Ball Up Top is going to be looking to have this first hold.
If anything, though, at least the paintbrush is down as well as the Stamper. It is 2 down on Quack, though, and Ball Up Top Cubed will be getting first point here. Rosa is potentially looking to at least get their team secured for the push, but they will be going down in that pencil up against Moon. I think that's the Kraken coming out on the side of Quack with Bounce here, but they are in a dire situation here. They are going to go down to Moon once again. Ball Up Top is actually looking pretty uncontested as they're entering the 60 threshold here, moving into the 50s now.
Those staggers were actually pretty brutal right now. I think Quack still has it in them to come back because of the fact that they do have the cooler coming online with the Zipcaster and the Crab. Using all of those into essentially no specials right now for Ball Up Top should be able to pull through and allow them to get the necessary momentum that they need. But Ball Up Top is pushed up so far, the paintbrush goes absolutely crazy, and there goes all that momentum.
Exactly here. Specs out and Bounce are the only one left on point. The strikes have come out from Adam. Can the Kraken take back this zone here as we enter the single digits here? It's up to Bounce and it's up to Specs out. Can Quack get this back? Zone's in neutral. There's the zone flip. Quack are not down yet, part 2.
Oh, I thought it was over, and Quack is sitting here proving us wrong. They are not getting out of this yet. They are functionally in a KO or lose situation, but they are still breathing. They are still alive. Their tournament life is on the line right now. They have to give it everything they got, and they're showing that right now.
But that being said, though, Ball Up Top still holds a very strong 2 with 73 penalty points here. Quack still hold the zone, but there's at least 2 specials ready on the side of Ball Up Top Cube. We saw the missiles coming out from Naf here. The tri-strikes are coming out from Adam here, and it's pushing Quack a little bit more back as the zone is flipped here.
Zone is flipped, and the 96 is down right now. It's looking like Ball Up Top is going to be in a good position for this next fight as Quack needs to respawn, needs to build up their specials. They do have the zip ready. Never mind, it's gone down early, and the 3 down is going to make things really dangerous now with Ball Up Top looking to secure the KO unless Quack can get in there right now.
Exactly here. Ball Up Top is moving past the 30 threshold. They're in the 20s. Bounce does have the Kraken here. This is what caused the zone to flip a couple seconds ago here. That being said, Ball Up Top is still holding Stalwart. No one has gone down. And here come the tri-strikes from Adam once more. They are almost out of their penalty points. It looks like it's only up to Bounce and Specs out, but it's not enough as Ball Up Top Cubed will be able to secure the knockout in Barnacle and Dime zones, giving them the set 1-2-2. They are moving on in Great White to face whoever wins against third and Kagekoi.
What an absolutely great set right there. Quack almost managing to come back into that set after a dominant performance from Ball Up Top, but unfortunately not quite enough, and their tournament is going to end right here with Ball Up Top advancing. A very good showing from both teams here.
Definitely so here. Man, what an insane zone sandwich that was, if anything. Right now, Eddie.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, don't worry, man. Up next here, you're going to be hearing from us in semifinals to see 2 Night and Pleasant Living here. That will probably happen after a little bit of a break here, unless we can just jump straight into it. Perhaps we will take a break just to rest our voices, and I guess in terms of the teams, rest their controllers. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for more Swimmer Sync 185.
Welcome back to Swimmer's Sink. I don't know if we're swimming or sinking today, but we're going to find out as we hop in to the next game, semifinals, 2Night versus Pleasant Living. I'm part 2, and I'm still here with Frostlex. How you doing?
Oh, well, we're still hot off the press of that insane last game from Quack and top³ here. We're going into semifinals, so whoever wins at least this match has their spots secured for grand finals. We have 2Night, the seed number 1 in the entire tournament, a perfect win rate, a perfect set win rate and map win rate. Meanwhile, Pleasant Living here has only dropped 1 map here, and they're at seed 5.
This is going to be looking like a very, very tough match for both teams in that case. Both of them on a hot streak, both of them looking to go into the final round. And I'm seeing that 2Night has have quite a large roster of players to choose from. I'm not entirely sure who we're going to be ending up seeing, but I do remember Your Love from previous cast being quite a fierce force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I definitely say so. If I recall correctly, I feel like Your Love was also part of the same pickup that Jay and Rosa were on Bucket. I may be wrong here, actually. I'm trying to remember my my Weekly Warriors rosters here. But now we're entering best of 5 sets here. We've got more action packed for each set, and we're starting on Zone's Ship Shape.
Yeah, it's looking like we're going to be going into a much more open zones map than we've seen so far. Ship-shaped zones having such a huge area and not a whole ton of cover to work with aside from the area around the zones and the area around spawn. Everything in between that is basically a huge no man's land that can really put a lot of pressure onto weapons that rely on having a lot of cover around them.
Yeah, especially if it turns out being a lot more slower on their end, especially considering this map tends to be notorious for having lockouts a lot of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of feeling as if like I'm going to end up seeing like quite a bit of stall breakers like hitting out here, because if you manage to get an aggressive hold, I am absolutely like it is absolutely one of the worst maps to break out of, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, exactly. Here, if a defending team can hold that bridge if they can hold the bridge very effectively, a retake can feel impossible here. They once you establish that bridge position, you have so much advantage onto almost every single angle that you have going out of spawn here. So I'm curious to see what the team, what 2Night and Pleasant Living have that at least can break out of that stall, like you were saying earlier, stall breaking.
Absolutely. I'm thinking that, it's hard for me to exactly guess as to what we're going to end up seeing other than, the common picks, the ones that you've been seeing, throughout a whole bunch of tournaments lately. But I can say that for the rest of this set, we are going to be seeing some really interesting maps for the foreseeable future. I think I saw an Undertow, for the Game 3, if I remember correctly.
That's pretty interesting. That map, the map list. I don't think I've really recognized everything past Zone's Ship Shape here, but we have no more time to remember, no more time to analyze further here. Ship Shape zones for game number 1. We're getting a little bit of an extended overhead as we see the rest of the map that usually is not seen. We're seeing, I think that's Custom Blaster on the side of 2Night here. Meanwhile, we're seeing Decapitator Carbon, a pretty aggressive comp on the side of Pleasant Living.
I'm noticing Your Love running the opening Gambit 52 gal versus another 52 gal, but running Haunt. We're getting some interesting abilities to see. I'm wondering how that's going to end up affecting their game if we're going into the mid fight.
Yeah, and here's Your Love already. It's looking like 2Night has a good control of the bridge. They have the gal up top here, but Zone has now gone into neutral here. Bubbles with that pencil can provide a lot of good paint output, and Your Love is going to go down to Kyoka. Kyoka is going to go down to not here, and now Zone has once again gone back in the control of 2Night.
Now, right now, it's looking like this bubble is going to end up buying a whole ton of space for Pleasant Living. Pleasant Living going to end up taking this hold and running it to a lead swap at the very least, though they only have a Killer Whale right now to contest the retake while all of the specials are about to come online for 2Night.
Yeah, here we have Kiki with the pencil. We have a Crab on the side of 2Night as well here. Candice get the picks. Candice get the amount of space reclaiming that 2Nights want here. They are going to take out a Noma here, and Newt has the grip with the Crab. I think they just passed. Oh, who was that? Was that the Carbon? Was that the Decab? Was that the Splash? No, it's the Gal on the side of Pleasant Living here, and they're still on the front line of Tonight. They are going to go down to the to Kiki as well here, and now Tonight is back in control of the zones here. They need to get this lead back as Pleasant Living took it to 53.
Another crab about to come out. It's looking like this hold is going to ride or die off of that, as we have a Zuka and a Bubble ready on the side of Pleasant Living for the retake, as well as a Killer Whale going out right now. So now this zone is under fire to go down on Tonight, and is looking like it might be a swap.
And there is that lead swap here right before Tonight could break that 53 here. Pleasant Living does still hold the lead of 53 to 55. And they're still holding Tonight relatively in their spawn here. Newt is trying to at least break out, provide a little bit more chip damage with that burst bomb, but it does not look like they can break out. They do have the crab going. That being said, the Gal on the side of Pleasant Living does have the whale as well. That can target crab really effectively here. And it will be able to take out your love. Kagekoi is just holding down the bridge as well here.
You know, looking like a really good hold for Pleasant Living at the moment. Tonight going to need to find the right picks in order to get them down. The pencil being a bit of a problem. The Gal being able to just find so many different opportunities to just flank and take some of the wind out of Tonight's sails. Pleasant Living about to KO. Are they going to end up doing it, or is this triple splashdown going to flip the zone? It does.
Shout out Liam with that custom blaster, able to completely recap that zone with a single instance of triple splash down here. Oh no, Newt going down to a Zuka shot here. Pleasant Living will be able to retake zone, but Your Love is able to get 2 picks, I think, down on their belt here. And now the whale's coming out. Can it target anyone in their sight? They are going to be able to take out Bubbles here. Your Love is on a rampage as Tonight will be able to recap zone here. The crab is going to go down here, and Kakioka will be able to take out Liam as well. Zone is looking to be flipped once more on the side of Pleasant Living.
It's just been a constant back and forth. As soon as Tonight finds an opportunity, they get snapped right back down by Pleasant Living. This hold is so... While the penalty points keep getting retake, this hold is so dominant. Tonight hasn't really had a real hold on the zone ever since the early stages of the game, and now they only have a minute and a half left in order to find an opportunity to retake and swap that lead back.
Yeah, exactly here, especially considering Pleasant Living is almost out of their penalty points. They've entered the single-digit threshold. They've already taken 3 members of Tonight down here. It does not look like they can break out. Tonight has no specials, and Pleasant Living will be able to take game numero uno.
Absolutely dominant performance by Pleasant Living right there. Tonight managing to find a couple of plays that managed to get them some ground, and while they did have a bit of a back and forth right at the start, once Pleasant Living finally found their footing and got that defensive hold that they were looking for, they were just completely unmovable, or they only really gave up a little bit of space just so they can push back just twice as hard.
Yeah, exactly. Just holding down that line, not only from the back line, but also just making sure that they can't break it out from the front, making sure they can take those fights very effectively and control the space. The Cavitator can do that really well with its very forgiving hitbox with that charge slash, as well as the big bubbler, and as well as if you let a carbon shark for too long, next thing you know, you're going to be a part of its kill streak here. Very stellar showcase from Pleasant Living. We're going into game number 2. We're back on Barnacle and Dime. This time we're on Clam Blitz.
Yeah, there's definitely a different flow to Clam Blitz on Barnacle and Dime compared to zones, because of the fact that you are going to be ending up going past the zone for the zone area instead and going into the basket area. The clam economy is really important here, and the flank routes, I think, end up having a lot more meaning in the Clam Blitz version. So while I think it is overall very similar to zones, I think the strategy is going to be quite a bit different here.
Yeah, I like how you very importantly incentivize the clam economy here, especially considering that the entire basket area of Barnacle and Dime is just, it feels like a whole second mid to fight in here. So you need to make sure that you have a lot of clams ready for your first push. As long as you can break past, I'd say probably the 60 threshold. I think that's probably a good threshold to break for a first push. That way your opponent doesn't, that way the opposing team doesn't have a lot of pity clams, doesn't have like a lot of clams to work with for a retake here. I think so.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be a map where I don't necessarily feel as if either team needs to swap off any of their weapons. I think they could end up running like more or less the same comp if they're comfortable going into that with how the last match went. But we're going to see. We're loading in right now. We'll see what they've brought.
So what do we have on the side of either team? We're still getting that overhead view of the map here. What's Tonight bringing? We're seeing Headed coming out from Tonight. What's Pleasant Living bringing out? The same weapons. And if anything, these guys were very confident with their weapons on ship shape. And I feel like these weapons are still really good on Clan Blitz. We'll just have to see what Pleasant Living can do against Tonight's new comp with that Headed.
There is a second opening gambit now on the side of Tonight alongside the Gal, which is still running it. Now the Custom Blaster was also running it and ending up both of them going down immediately. So with putting Pleasant Living in the driver's seat right now with the heavy edit under pressure.
Yeah, Kiki's under fire from any means possible, and they will be going down to Bubbles, Pencil. Liam's gonna go down, I think, to the Cal on the side of Tonight. That being said, the Clam Company does look like it's on the side of Tonight, but if anything, Tonight's also just constantly being dropped left and right here.
Yeah, right now it's like, despite the fact that it was looking like a pretty good showing from Pleasant Living to start off, things have kind of gone back to neutral. This Crab is looking to try and opening things up for Tonight, but only with a little bit of chip damage and a random pick on the decab, there is going to be enough for them to start moving forward, but not without costs.
Yeah, they are going to be moving forward, though. They have the Power Clam built. Anoma does have the Trizuka, though. This could potentially shut down Tonight's push, but they will not go down in Your Love here. Will be going down to Anoma before taking a dip in the mall water here.
Oh, that rancid mall water. How I love you so. We do have the start of the score for Tonight going on right now, but Pleasant Living is still going down, and it's looking like this is going to be an even further push. There it is, past the 60-point mark, and I think that that's all that Tonight is willing to accept as the Heavy Edit runs for the hills to try and not get picked while Pleasant Living collects their bearings.
Smart choice for Kiki to back off, considering they were the only one left, as the rest of Tonight were respawning after the end of push. We're once again back into neutral, as it's once again a duel in mid. Bubbles will immediately go down. Kakioka is trying to at least hold down the line with that bubbler, but I think they're taking some chip damage here. Your Love is just taking pot shots at Kakioka and the Gal as well here. There's 2 down on Pleasant Living. That Soda Buff will be able to at least net a quick respawn for the team, and if anything, the Custom Blaster has gone down. There's a Power Clam on the side of Tonight, and Newt has brought out the crowd once again, firing off on Bubbles, once again trying to look for that opening that Tonight wants here. The pressure is still on Pleasant Living.
Yeah, it looks like this is once again, the narrative has completely switched. Right now, Tonight looking like the unstoppable force, the immovable object, all at once, right as they are now getting their score even further. Going 2 down doesn't even seem to be slowing them down that much. Although now the Carbon now the Carbon and the Gal are now approaching the Heavy Edit very rapidly.
Very rapidly indeed here, but if anything, Bubbles looks like to be a little bit stagnant as Your Love is just trying to peek in and out, doing some chip damage, but Kakioka is the solution to that with that Decapitator. The Zuka's coming out, the Bubble is out here. Tonight, Pleasant Living does have a Power Clam at hand. They have already taken out the Custom Blaster here. There's no specials on the side of Tonight here, and with the Whale opening things up for Pleasant Living, they may have what it takes, but the Decapitator has gone down here. The numbers are looking a little bit lower here as the Gal has gone down. Bubbles has not found the opening, and they're still staying in mid here. They are almost at a cooler, though. This could provide a little bit more of a turn for Pleasant Living, but Newt responds with the Crab here. Can this get any more value?
It's looking like it doesn't even need to. They got a wipeout basically without it, so it just rolls forward like we're like the world's worst baller, and it's going to end up resulting in a 25-point jump for Tonight, now getting dangerously close to a KO, and the Splash with the winning clams on the way, but not going to be able to get any further because of the fact that 2 of them ended up going down. So now Pleasant Living has an opportunity to come back, but they have a mountain to climb in order to get to it.
Not just a mountain to climb, but little time to climb that mountain, and it could just be raining for them too here. There's 1 minute left on the clock here. Bubbles still holds the Power Clam. There's a Pity Clam waiting for them in base. Kakioka is trying to hold down the line, but they're being just fired on by everything that Tonight has to offer. That headed switch could have been really useful, and I think it's showing here. At least the Decapitator has gone down, and Tonight is still holding Stalwart here. Nova's trying to signal push, ready to go. They have the Whale, but that is going to be canceled by Your Love. They're pushing forward. They have Bubbles in their sights, and that's another wipeout for Tonight as Newt has the Power Clam, and it's going in.
And there's enough clams in order to KO right now, and it's looking like it's going to happen with that Power Clam slamming the basket shut, and Tonight tying up the set, showing that no, they are not about to get shut out of this set right then and there.
There it is, a 1-1 set lead. This fight for grand finals is still very heated. Very stellar switch up and a stellar showcase on the side of Tonight as they take the ball, and we're going into Undertow Spillway Rainmaker for game number 3.
This is up there for being one of my favorite Rainmaker maps. I will fully admit that. I like Undertow Rainmaker a lot, and I'm thinking that this is going to end up being a very entertaining match between these two teams from what they've seen. With the only switch up really being between these first two games, that the choice of the pencil to the heavy edit for Tonight, I think that we're probably going to end up seeing mostly the same comps going forward, because I don't necessarily think that they necessarily need to change anything that's going forward for either team.
Yeah, they're very comfortable here. I would say that, but I thought we were gonna go straight into it here. We're going back to our PNGs here. I would definitely want to note that both teams are sporting a really solid gal here. That is Kaiora. I think that's Kaiora on this. It's either Kaiora or Ivy on this. Actually, no, that's I think that's Kaiora on the side of Pleasant Living, and of course Your Love on the side of Tonight here. Both of them are able to just really be a good jack of all trades here, just weaving in and out from the mid line to the front line, holding down that mid line with that splash wall. Gal can really just do it all when you think about it.
It's a very flexible weapon, though I will also admit that it is like a weapon that is sometimes held back by the fact that it doesn't quite manage to reach the same highs as other weapons in its category right now. It doesn't quite have the pain output that you see from something like from a splash. Doesn't quite have the same kill power that you'd see from a Zuka wielding weapon, but it is still very useful.
Definitely. So I would say that here. But I would also say that Brine Water... Oh, I say Brine Water for a second. Undertow Zones is one of those things that... Oh, wow. Wait. Man, okay. I was yapping for far too long here as we're going into the match. You have no more time for analysis. Man, oh man, I was almost yapping my butt off here. We're still seeing the headed on the side of Tonight, and we're actually seeing a headed on the side of Pleasant Living.
All right, we've just kind of completely dropped the pretense to heavy edit versus heavy edit, and I'm not really surprised to see that. It's a Rainmaker, and heavy edit does pull its weight a bit better than pencil on Rainmaker in general, so we're going to end up seeing how these comps adjust to having that as their backline, because right now we're going to be seeing quite a few aggressive pushes from Tonight not quite go their way, as it's looking like it's going to be Pleasant Living's first turn with the ball, except for the fact that Tonight decided to try and push it forward anyway. What do I know?
Yeah, exactly here. Tonight's not going to get any points on the board, surprisingly, even though they have moved it just by a little bit. But now, can Pleasant Living get this push going with their Carbon down and with a crab firing off on them here? Kagekoi is immediately going to go down. I think Bubbles, I think they almost had the right side checkpoint in mind here. That's a really interesting play, as you tend to see a lot of teams go for the left side checkpoint.
I feel like maybe there was just trying to go for a very quick and decisive checkpoint grab, not really caring about the follow-up for that, just wanting to get that checkpoint down so they don't have to think about it later. I kind of see the value in that, but I'm thinking that now it's looking like Tonight is going to be set up for that left side push after getting 2 down, and it's not hard to see why. This is going to end up giving them a lot of momentum with that splashdown, buying them so much space.
Exactly, they were also able to net 2 picks into that push, but here is what I like to call the battle zone here. That first checkpoint going in to that second checkpoint is just an absolute war zone here, but Newt is able to just become the judge, the jury, and the executioner, able to take out Bubbles, as they will at least secure a wipeout actually onto Pleasant Living here. They pushed it to 9. Newt will not be able to slam it into the checkpoint. They put it at 1 though, basically setting the terms and conditions of the match. Pleasant Living practically need to get a knockout in order to take this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now they're in such a back foot position, but they have 3 minutes to do it if they can just repel Tonight from being able to dunk it. But right now, it's not looking like they will at the moment. Luckily for Pleasant Living, the Rainmaker is going to reset, which will buy them even more time in order to get back into this. Though right now, Tonight is still in massive control of the map.
Yeah, but Pleasant Living is appearing to starting to post up here. They are able to take down the Rainmaker holder before taking out Kagekoi at least here. And this gal is just holding down the line, weaving effortlessly between midline and midline and frontline, like I was saying earlier. They are going to be able to, they will be going down to Liam, but Liam is under fire from, I think, from Nora as well as Kakioka here, and it now, if anything, now could just be the perfect time for Pleasant Living to start getting their stuff together.
Yeah, Pleasant Living having a decav on that flank right now, trying to see if they can get something to happen. A couple of picks do end up coming down, I think, outside of Cooler even, so they do have some space, but they still have to pop the Rainmaker, they still have to break through a checkpoint, and they only have 2 minutes to do all this.
That being said, though, they are going to be able to take down Kiki. That is no pencil and a little bit less firepower on the side of Two Knight. Here comes those whales, though, and if anything, Bubbles is in quite a pickle. There's 2 members down, and they're being chased down by a road blaster here. Liam's going to be able to shut down the Rainmaker here. Two Knight is just kind of kicking their feet up, just thinking they don't really need to push anymore. They have the Rainmaker at 1. They just need to play hard defense.
They do, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be their style. If they manage to get control back, I think that they might end up trying to go for another push just to stall Pleasant Living and make them have to move as far as possible in order to get that KO. A minute and 30 is still quite a bit of time for Pleasant Living to get back into this. Going 2 up now on the side of Pleasant Living is going to help them.
Yeah, and I think the gals are dueling here. They are going to be able to take out Newt. The path to the first checkpoint has been paved, but they will be going down. I think that was Kiki all the way from Pleasant Living's backline here, but that whale will be able to probably pop the bubble right when they need it, and Anoma will be able to get that first checkpoint. No, they won't here. Here comes Liam saying no to that. There's 1 minute left in the game here, and it's a wipeout on the side of Two Knights.
Two Knight now having that Rainmaker inflated, they have decided that they are going to... Okay, all right. We're doing this now. They are going to stall. They are going to stall this Rainmaker for as long as possible. They have picked it up, but I don't think they have any intention of moving anywhere at the moment, other than into the horrible corner that's so hard to get the Rainmaker out of.
That being said, though, Two Knight is 2 down, and Pleasant Living probably are not taking those squid bags very well, but here comes Your Love with the steel chair, shutting down any opportunities for getting to that first checkpoint. There is 14 seconds and counting left on the match. It's just Anoma. They are going to go down to Newt here. There's 10 seconds left, and I think it's only Two Knight members left here. And oh, man. Oh, they are going to take down the gal with the Rainmaker. And they're just sending it off as they take game 3, taking the set to 2-1.
All right. Okay, all right, Two Knight. I see you. I see what you're about. All right, we're going to be... so Pleasant Living is now going to have borne witness to that, and now are 1 game away from being eliminated from Swimmer's Sink. We're going to see if they can manage to pull it back. We're going into tower control Havigalfish. Two Knight just needs to win this one last game on a map that has been tested, tried time and time again. We're going to see if their strategy continues holding or if Pleasant Living is going to find their second wind.
If anything, I feel like Pleasant Wind's comp with that Carbon, with that Decavitator can be really useful for just locking up, I'd say locking Two Knight relatively into their spawn here. I think this is a map that, I said this earlier before we had that map mishap when we were first on, but Hagglefish is just one of those maps that the Premier Frontlines just play really well in, and I think Carbon plays really well there, especially since this is tower control. Decavitator also plays really well with there. It can chop up a lot of space with that big bubbler. It can also shield the Tower Rider with that big bubbler. Another really good jack of all trades weapon that Decavitator, that Mint Decavitator is.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the same highs as Platana Stamper can, but it has that much lower barrier to entry and has just that overall middle ground that really, really helps, especially when you don't quite have the ability to run the Stamper. The bubble is a very, very useful tool for getting space, and especially on Hagglefish, there are so many places where you can pop it and have it get so much value.
Yeah, definitely so here. I'm thinking the steps, I'm thinking at least the area around the tent here, you can pretty much just kind of block off mid for a bit with Big Bubbler. And of course there's that tower. There's also like the tent that's around the first checkpoint here if you choose to flank that route with the Cavitator. Lots of good options on Hagglefish. And let's just not forget about the amount of mobility, the amount of shenanigans you can get with Carbon Roller as well here. The fact that it's not a lot of verticality allows you to just kind of swim wherever you want here, go unscathed and start taking out opponents one by one here, just toppling comps here. I'm really interested to see what Pleasant Living can do here, especially considering this is now set point on them here. This is potentially their final showing.
I think that right now they really need to be. I think that the pattern that I've started to notice is that there are members of Tonight that are really, really prone to sharking. Not just like the usual suspects, but also the Gal. Your Love is a sharking menace on this team. They're going to see if they can adapt to that and maybe call out those sharking attempts more often as we load in.
So let's see what we have to offer. Tonight is once again sporting the same thing we saw last time. Pleasant Living is now bringing out V-Roller as well as Bucket.
They're also going back to the pencil, so we have seen a drastic comp switch. Pleasant Living needing to try something different in order to try and get into this. I like this adjustment, the V-Roller having that beautiful kit in order to reposition quickly with the curling bomb and the bubble in order to buy that kind of space that the mint decapitator that we said that could end up doing. We'll end up seeing if this combination ends up working in their favor. Tonight going on the first push though.
Nuke is sitting on that tower with the crab here that will at least provide them a little more shielding, and a final grenade will be able to take out Anoma. But now that push did not last long. They only got to 83 here as the tower will slowly cruise back up to mid. Kagekoi is able to win that duel against Your Love, but they will be going down to Kiki though. Here the whale is coming out on the side of Pleasant Living here, keeping Kiki on their toes, and I think that will be able to take out, I think not even the bucket actually, I think that's the blaster on the side of Tonight here. They still hold the lead here. I think they're just trying to cover up any loose ends to see if there are any sharks on the side, on the side lanes here. That's definitely something we've got to watch out for on Hagglefish.
Yeah, absolutely. There's sharking potential on both teams right now, but Tonight has been consistently weaponizing it against Pleasant Living this entire set. The roller going to try and go forward, does not pop their bubble, but ends up going down prematurely. So it's looking like Tonight is going to finally be able to get a real push going, especially now that they've staggered the slosher. They're going to be able to get to this first checkpoint and possibly even break it if they can keep this momentum going with their specials.
But watch out for the whale on the side of Pleasant Living that will potentially be a little bit wary, but the crab just could potentially just solve all of their plights here. That is a bubble, but it will be, but Anoma will go down, and now Liam and Your Love are just just storming the front, but it is only them left here. Liam's landing a point blank direct onto Kagekoi. They do have the splashdown ready as well here. Will they pop it right when they, in this pretty dire situation here? Even when it's only Your Love and I think Liam left, they are able to take it to checkpoint 2, a little bit further past it as they get it to 29 within, I think, the first 1 minute 30 seconds of the match.
Just looking like this push is finally calming down, but for the fact that all of Tonight is jumping to a shark in order to try and get things going from the other side of the map. It doesn't end up working out. They all end up getting called out, and Pleasant Living now has a huge opportunity to take map control and start a push of their own by the time the tower gets back through mid.
Is exactly. They're already trying to at least contest the tent here. That's definitely somewhere that a lot of the midliners that Tonight has would like to sit on. Here comes the whale. The soda is coming out from Tonight as well. Newt's firing on all cylinders with that crab tank. But here come the tri-strikes from Pleasant Living, courtesy of Kagekoi. Switch to the bubble, to the bucket here. There's already, oh man, that was a carnage, I think, by Liam as well as Your Love here, as all of Pleasant Living is going down. Tonight's wiping them out here and retaking that tower, cruising back onto mid.
Tonight now with 2 minutes left on the clock now is sending the tower back onto the other side of the map. They are in a really good position to potentially take this game away, but Pleasant Living does still have opportunities to potentially come back. They just get 2 picks right there. If they manage to clean this up, they are going to have another opportunity to push with only just a couple of trades. I think this works out in their favor to start getting map control back and keep their tournament life alive.
Yeah, they definitely need to take back this space very effectively here. There are no specials, and if anything, Kagekoi has already gone down. There's no strikes for them as they get to the first checkpoint here. And if anything, Tonight are all positioned on high ground. And if anything, Your Love's trying to get in. Anoma tried to get that bubble up, but they will get canceled. And I think it's only... Oh, no, not again! Oh, Tonight. And now they're back onto tower.
All right, well, we're going to keep on going past that. Tonight going to just continue trying to push forward, though it looks like they're mostly on the other side of the map right now due to respawns. And Pleasant Living is going to be able to start getting map control back. We're back in a kind of a neutral position, but there's only a minute left on the clock. They need to be able to move forward. They need to be able to break this hold that Tonight has been having, get rid of all the rats, and just try and push forward the best they can.
That being said, though, there's already 2 down on both ends here. They've lost the tower, and Liam's just sitting with the splashdown, lying in wait. Like you said here, there are rats running amok here. They need to call an exterminator. Potentially, this exterminator is in the hands of Kagekoi with the tri-strikes. The whale is coming out from Your Love though here, and Pleasant Living is already 2 down here. Kagekoi is trying to hold down the line here. Your Love is being able to go down here. Tonight has Soda here, but they've already gone 2 down. But Newt's just sitting on that tower with the crab tank here. There's going to be around 10 seconds for Pleasant Living to practically get this tower back and push it into overtime here. It seems impossible, but we've seen the impossible be possible. Oh no, that's a wipeout.
That's a wipeout, and we're going to close it off with just a bit more squid partying, just a little bit more to send it all back. Tonight is going into the finals, and Pleasant Living is going to be eliminated. GG's from both teams.
Even still, though, that was a very stellar showing from Pleasant Living here. They were able to at least have a really good record across the entire board of the tournament here, and if anything, they also managed to take that first game very man, I'm saying very too much, but they had that first game in their bag really well. No need to go to the zones, Mahi.
Nope, no need. Although I am a little bit sad about that. I do like me some zones Mahi, but we're not going to be seeing it right now.
And Tonight have their spots in finals set in stone here. Meanwhile, on the other end of the bracket, third is 2 games up against Ball Up top³ here. You will just have to see who faces off against Tonight's antics when we get to finals after brief break. So of course, don't go anywhere. Or if anything, I think we've got a little bit of an ad read to probably go over here. Yeah. Here it is. Here's MomoCon here. This is happening on May 22nd, from May 22nd to 25th here. There is going to be a Splatoon 3 tournament here with a 1,000 pot bonus here. And of course, like all tournaments, there's going to be some insane casters on the mic here that will be announced soon here. Of course, this isn't just a big tournament with games like Smash Ultimate, Melee, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe here, the very game you're watching right now, Mario Party Superstars, Mario Party Jamboree, Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Guilty Gear Strive, Rivals of Aether 2, and Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. But it's also just MomoCon. It's a huge convention with 65k in attendance, that had 65k in attendance in 2024 here. Of course, like all great cons, you've got to have a gigantic vendor and artist alleys. Of course, you can support some small artists. Of course, there's some incredible panels here. You can meet. There are meet and greets with some famous VAs. There are cosplays to see, and it is all happening in a spectacular venue in downtown Atlanta with easy access to foods, shops, Olympic Park, etc. I have no idea where all this is because I'm from Toronto, but it's also easy access from the Atlanta airport by rail or by car, and if anything, that is good because walking to cons can suck sometimes. Take it from me.
MomoCon, definitely one of those conventions that has been on my list for ones that I want to attend eventually. Maybe one day I will have the money to travel there, but alas, it's not happening anytime soon. I really do hope that it is a banger of a show there.
I definitely am expecting it to be a banger of the show. I mean, like, are you seeing this game lineup, man? We're having a grand roster of Nintendo games and a crap ton of crazy fighting games to see here. So, I mean, if you are attending MomoCon, would be worth it to probably see those matches. And of course, it's MomoCon. I've also been wanting to go there, but you know, I've got to hop a border in order to get there, and I'm also in college, so funds are a little bit stretched thin on my end, unfortunately.
With all that said, I think we're good to go ahead and take another break. So when we're back, it's going to be finals, as we are waiting for the other side of the bracket to finish up their set. Don't go anywhere. We will be back shortly.
The games have been set, and now we enter grand finals of swim or sink 185. I'm still Frostix, and I'm still joined by Part 2 here. We're still hot off the presses of 2 nights insane sets against Pleasant Living, and now they're up against third here. Man, notice how they both have numbers in their names and none of them are 1.
I mean, I can relate. My name's Part 2. If you're going to have a number, why are you going to stick with the number 1? That's just pretentious of you, you know?
True that be. You don't want to seem like a poser. But anyways, we're in for another best of 5 set here. The battles are still going to be heated here. In our first map mode, Umami Ruins Splat Zones.
AKA, what if Barnacle and Dime had 2 zones? I'm gonna be honest, it feels like the flow of those maps are very, very similar.
Yeah, when you really think about it, it can feel like that here, except now you've got a massive rectangle in between your oh man, my words aren't wording, but you've got a massive rectangle to worry about, and alongside a zone that has undergone mitosis.
Yeah, the fact that the zones can end up stalling for such a long period of time does make Umami potentially a very unique map. One of the very few double zones maps that we end up seeing regularly in tournament play, like at all, in my opinion. And it's going to end up being a very telling map, I think, for what these teams are going to end up bringing. We're loading in. Let's see if Tonight is changing anything from their set with Pleasant Living, or if they're going to continue the course.
I think they have continued the course. We're seeing Pencil this time around here. Meanwhile, on the side of third, we're seeing Acer with the splash. We're seeing T with the end zap, which is going to be their Pencil. Actually, they're running two coolers, but not they're running two coolers.
Oh, I have not seen double cooler in a hot minute here. I'm interested to see how this is going to go out. Their first cooler is already out, but they have gone two down before the Slusher could end up picking it. We're going to see. It's looking like Tonight is going to have this first hold. This Crab in very much danger.
Yeah, I really like how Your Love was just kind of moving in and out of their splash wall inside the corner here, but they're going to get shut down in a 1v2 with Aloe on that bucket, leading the charge here. They are going to take out Liam is fat here. Meanwhile, they are going to take out Newt as well here for that retake, and the zone has been flipped. 21 penalty points going to Tonight here.
Yep, and there's now going to be third hold, though it's not going to be lasting for too long as members have gone down. It's going to see if there's going to be enough time in order to get the lead swap. Not quite, and it's looking like Tonight is going to get back control, and it's their zone to lose now.
Yeah, that being said, though, third made it all the way to 77. It was within the 70 threshold that Tonight was at earlier, but Tonight does not have a lot of penalty points to work with here. Oh, they're all just bum rushing Acer's Crab here, and they are going to go down here. Moving as a unit, really interesting thing that I think we've seen a little bit earlier at that last tower control game from Tonight here. And Your Love is just in there like swimwear, taking out. They actually are going to go down, I think, to Kit Kat and Owl here. They need to get this retake now that Tonight is entering the 50, and now they're out of 50 and into the 40 threshold.
It's a really good lead right now, but third is looking to be starting to clean up. They are slowly but surely getting space back, but Your Love continuing to be a menace in the 1v1 scenario, as the 52 gal often is. We're going to see if this Crab is going to be able to get the third into the zones right now. There's not much time left for them to flip things over, as both are neutralized.
Now we just have to see what happens here, especially since since Tonight is at 13. Both zones have been capped by a specific team here, but it's looking like it will be capped by third, at least applying 61 penalty points to Tonight here, extending their stay in this game a little bit further here. But Newt is once again firing on all cylinders, taking out T, taking out Acer here, making a wipeout for Tonight here.
This is a really dangerous position for third. They do need to be able to find a way to get back in, but they continue staggering. They keep losing their specials, and it's looking less and less likely that they're going to be able to come back into this game unless they can leverage these picks that they just got in order to come back, get their specials back, and potentially end up getting a pick. But no, their pencil ends up going down as well.
Yeah, and now it's just looking a little bit dicey for third, as Acer's firing off with that Crab Tank here. They need to get this retake. It is now once again in their possession. That's 51 penalty points going to Tonight once more here. Liam's looking out of place here, and Your Love's once again just weaving in and out of that splash wall here. That's definitely a nice tactic for a gal to run here. Your Love is going to go down, but Liam is able to take out two members of third, extending Tonight's hold just a little bit longer.
And it's looking very dangerous. Once again, there's a Tri-Strike ready and a Crab about to be online, but they need to stay alive long enough in order to get those specials online in a good position. The cooler is coming out for Tonight, and this is going to be the last chance that third has in order to get in before the KO. Are they going to be able to neutralize? They do at least, but they're not going to retake and to go down on both sides. It's still just a ridiculously... Woohoo! Oh my god, they managed to do it.
Acer coming in clutch when they need to here, applying 40 more penalty points to Tonight here, and they're almost out of their penalty points too, which means third can now start counting down, and they're already starting to occupy Tonight's spawn area here. It's looking like they're trying to get the lockout here. Acer has the Crab once again here. If there's anything we've seen a lot of recently, it is constant Crab outputs here. Immediately, two members are going down on the side of Tonight here, and third is already out of the 50 threshold into the 40s here, and Your Love is once again forced to jump out here.
Now it's looking like the crabs are going to end up trading with one another, and now there's not really a whole lot that is going to be able to get Tonight back in at the moment, other than this triple splashdown. Another crab is about ready, and the lead swap is super close. Is Third going to be able to get it? It looks like they don't, just barely. The zone has flipped. They managed to get it back. They got the lead. This triple splashdown is going down, and it is an absolute madhouse right now. Now Tonight needs to get back control in the last 30 seconds in order to win this.
Yeah, the tables have turned so quickly here. And if anything, Third is in with range of a knockout, and there it is! Even when Tonight was very oppressive for the last couple minutes of that zones match, Third finally managing to find their footing here, taking up so much space in Tonight's spawn and able to get that lead swap within the last couple seconds of the game.
God, with that match going for the first 4 minutes, it looked like Tonight was going to carry that momentum that they built up with Pleasant Living and just continue their streak of dominance throughout that last set. But Third coming in at the last second, managing to stop Tonight from getting the KO and then holding for so long that they managed to knock them out right back, not even making it to overtime. What an amazing reversal by Third.
Yeah, exactly here. And man, could this really... Do you feel like this could be a result of their two coolers part 2? It could... Not just running the... If anything, NZAP has been a really... Nintendo really likes to buff that NZAP, I'm not gonna lie here. It's just really good at fighting, it's really good at supporting here. NZAP could potentially be doing it all, but at the same time, who knows?
I think that the double cooler might actually be going into their favor with the ability to cooler cycle, with the ability to communicate with your team. You can just have 100% uptime with the cooler, and it's not like Zap and Pencil don't necessarily work badly with one another. They still are weapons that do like each other's presence to some extent. There's a lot of paint output going on. There's crabs to support it. You have, I believe that they were running a bucket as well for the triple ink strike. There's just so much paint that can get put out, and the team just basically never ends up fully going down as soon as they start the cooler cycle.
Yeah, exactly here. As long as they can keep that cycle up here, their presence on the battlefield is just immense, and they just don't seem to die. And when they don't die, they can output so much more pressure for their team here. I still want to accentuate how much we've been seeing players that can splash players that can output constant crabs. Even when they go down, they can just have a crab ready, and we've seen sometimes you see crab or crab within the first opening seconds of the match here.
Yeah, we ended up seeing a true crab duel ending up toward the end of that game, where one team ends up I think it was
Acer on Third had crab.
Yeah, Acer, Third ends up popping the crab, and then the other crab is popped in response. There's just a crab duel that ends up happening. Real crab bucket vibes right there, but you know, they say that crab meta never really left us.
Yeah, maybe the Ghost of the Crab haunts us to this day here. We're going into Clan Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy this time around here. This is a map that can really just... I think a lot of this map kind of plays out as soon as you get past that first checkpoint. If you can execute that push onto the enemy team's upper platform here, that could potentially be game-changing.
Yeah, absolutely. It is also a map where I feel like you end up getting very rewarded for playing weapons that are good at sharking, and Tonight in general has been proving to be very, very good at that particular strategy. We're going to see if any adaptations are coming out, but we're loading into Clan Blitz right now.
We have not seen Tonight actually switch up a lot here. I think the most we've seen from them was switch Pencil for Headed, but will we see anything different from them? We're seeing Kiki back on Headed here. Meanwhile, Third is now running the Vanilla Roller once again. We're seeing Kit Kat with the Vanilla Roller.
We're going to see a backless cooler instead of the double cooler that we saw with the Pencil. So this is going to be going for a much more aggressive approach. We're going to see if it works out in Third's favor, as the Slosher ends up getting picked early yet again. And Tonight is going to be looking in a pretty decent position, if not for the crab looking down upon them from on high.
Wait a second, this isn't tower control. I just realized we're seeing Inkling Clam Blitz, as a matter of fact here, and hot off the presses of Acer's Crab, here comes Newt's Crab firing off from up high, like you were saying. I think actually at Acer here. Now Liam's holding the front line here, doing what blasters can do with that break, with taking fights at basically any distance here. And now Tonight will get the first break. We'll already get to 65. I think that's a pretty good threshold to get at. But here comes Your Love, almost at a power climb, and there. No, they actually are able to. They're going to be shut down. There's 2 members down, but Newt is keeping the score alive, taking it to 47.
Very strong first push, but definitely one that can be broken, especially with 4 minutes still left on the clock. Third trying to get some map control back, but Tonight is not letting up the pressure even for a second. They are fully speeding down the hill and taking every corner as well as they can in order to try and bring this game to a swift resolution if they can manage to get another power clam.
Exactly. Tonight have already taken the lead and have already made it halfway throughout their points here. They've already built another power climb. The economy is in their favor, but they are 2 down. They are at a numbers disadvantage here. This will allow Third to potentially retake a lot more spaces. We're seeing Kit Kat trying to cheese the ledges here, but I think Newt's trying to get that crab going. We're seeing the cooler being tossed, the bubble as well here, but there's already 2 down on the side of Third. Now there's 2 down on the side of Tonight here. It's just a constant trade-off, and Owl is trying to take bats here. Interesting pick, and they're trying to get this duel onto Newt, but they are outnumbered and they will go down.
It's a whole lot going on right now, and at the end of the day, it's looking like we're going to be ending up resetting the mid power clam on the side of Tonight, going to get them a little bit of that special advantage, that very subtle but still noticeable, and it is going to end up trying, they're going to end up trying to make something of it, but right now, Third is still just putting a lot of pressure onto them. There are picks being happening every net where there's fights breaking out all over the map right now. It's a whole mess, and at the end of the day, it's looking like Tonight is going to be able to get to the next score unless their power clam carrier goes down and Kit Kat goes absolutely crazy.
Oh no, but Kit Kat ran out of ink right when they needed to, and now Your Love is back in control of that power clam. They're firing off the whale here. There's 2 down already on the side of Third. I think they're just trying to keep that power clam alive here, considering that they are a little bit down on numbers here, as Third is starting to retake mid. Once again, there's at least, I think that was a crab tank being fired off from Acer as well here, but they do have that pity clam ready. I don't think they have a clam ready on the field, but do they notice that Your Love is there? They do. They managed to pick it up and take the fight in a 2v1. Newt has the power clam as well as the crab here firing off here. They are at least 2 members down though. It's Acer as well as Alwo at least trying to hold down the line, making sure that Tonight can't progress any further that they are.
We have gone down to close to the 1 minute 40 mark now. There, and Tonight is still using that commanding lead that they built up right at the start, getting a wipeout that is going to give them an opportunity to push all the way into third space, despite any cooler respawns that might be happening. 2 power claims going in, and that is an even bigger lead that they've managed to establish themselves. Even if this is all they get, that just makes the goal for third to come back into this game that much farther away. They're looking really good position for going into this final minute.
Exactly, and there's also going to be, yeah, you mentioned that final minute of the game here, and third have a very long mountain to climb. They are juiced up on soda. Your Love will be traded out here, but they didn't come alone. I think that is Liam trying to take out T here. That power climb holder is down, and Liam's still in the front line. And third, and Tonight still have another power climb ready to roll here. Acer has the crab, and so does Newt here. Acer is out of the crab, and if anything, Tonight has 2 power climbs here. That's a very imposing presence going into the last 40 seconds of this match.
There are so many clams. If Tonight manages to break open the basket, and they might just do that right now, this could spell the end of the game if they manage to get their other power clam in there. There's just a bubble in the way, and the triple splashdown is going to get some opportunity in there, but the bucket is perfectly positioned in order to stop everything, and Tonight is not going to find that KO, and in fact, they're going to start getting back mid-control, potentially the opportunity that they needed in order to come back into this game.
The problem is for third is that Tonight has set the lead to 33. While yes, the initial break will get them in the right spot into overtime, they need to get a very strong amount of, they need to get a large amount of clams in order to take this lead back. The bucket, not the bucket, but Kit Kat will already go down. T is under fire. Here comes Acer with the crab as overtime begins. 1 power clam is already going down. T is the holder of this. There is a pity clam still in third's possession, but we're already halfway through overtime. There are 2 down. There is a barrier break here. A second power clam is coming in from Acer. It's Owl and T left on the board. T's gonna go down. The pity clam has been picking up by Kit Kat here, but it's looking like there's an entire entire legion of Two-Night ready to stop KitKat here, and with the barrier being reformed, Two-Night will get the set to even at 1-1.
They're just taking too many losses right at the end. They had a huge amount of clams in order to try and score back and get back into things, but unfortunately they ended up just finding too many losses on their side, and Two-Night is going to end up closing that game, moving us to tower control, tied 1 apiece.
Now we're actually going to a TC map, but this time we're going on TC Mako Mart here. And if anything, when it comes to Mako Mart on almost all on all its modes specifically, controlling the high ground is the key.
Yeah, absolutely. Controlling the high ground, and especially being able to abuse the various small corridors that the map provides. You have so many opportunities to go around the stacks and climb the walls in any which way you see fit, and especially since we've been seeing rollers, we've been seeing blasters, there is going to be a whole lot of sharking once again that is being rewarded, and the bubbles that have also been used. Huge value on Mako Mart in particular, especially around the checkpoint areas.
Definitely so, especially considering the defending team, once the tower reaches their checkpoint, they do have a lot of at least vantage points onto them here. They can just fire away as they see fit here. That's something that I definitely at least see Two-Night taking advantage of. They're running the blaster, they're running, of course, the gal, they're running stuff like a lot of stuff like that here that can take really good advantage of the high ground, the stacks here, the snipes that that Mako Mart has. What I'm wondering, at least from Two-Night's end, what are which cooler weapon are they going to run with? We've seen that Kiki is very flexible between both pencil as well as head it here, so I'm wondering like which of those two weapons we're going to see at least on the side of Two-Night.
Both of the weapons have their merits, but I kind of feel as if Two-Night's momentum has always been better with the heavy edit. That allows them to play super aggressively. That gives the opportunities for them to get into those sharking positions while still maintaining a whole ton of pressure on the front line. So I think that we're going to end up seeing it, and it looks like, yep, I'm calling that completely correct.
Exactly here. Whoa! Meanwhile, third is sporting the Sea Leader. We're seeing the objects being placed. We have beacons, and we have that Kraken that can be really good for cheesing out the tower.
All right, Kraken on the tower control, not quite as cheesable as it was on launch, but still quite a strong option in the right circumstance. Once again, we are seeing the trend of the Slosher going down immediately, but it is not quite in a completely dominating position yet. The tower has yet to start moving, though it is still Two-Night's favor to start out, despite the numbers disadvantage right now. Never mind, it's looking like they're going 3 down, and it's just a brawl with Newt going absolutely nuts to try and keep them in this hold.
Newt's trying to at least claim splash diff against Acer here. Kiki's trying to get that tower, but we're approaching that first checkpoint here. Albo is once again going down here. It's looking like the Slosher just can't catch a break as Newt will equip the crab, at least securing them the first checkpoint here. They move on to the at least the plat area. Kiki will be going down here, the 2 down on the side of Two-Night, make it 3 here, and now is the time for third to start immediately reclaiming space here, because if you allow Two-Night to at least control space here, that's allowing players like Yolov, allowing players like Liam to start wreaking even more havoc. Nice snipe, KitKat!
Oh, what a snipe. That is going to open them up just a little bit, if not for the flanking gal that's still around. Yorlov, once again, just finding themselves in positions that you never see them in, just because of the fact that they can get there. And it's working out to their favor with the 52 able to get a kill so quickly. You have to keep an eye on that, or you're going to continue to lose momentum.
And here's Owl finally taking a good advantage, advantage of the Slosher's benefits, being able to shoot over ledges, firing off on Newt, and there's the wipeout as well as the lead swap for third here. They have the Tri-Strike, they have the Kraken online here. They have a lot of good merit going into this push, but there's already 2 down. KitKat has the Kraken here. They're being fired on by everyone from Two-Night. Get out of there, KitKat!
It doesn't matter that they managed to get pulled away. That did break the checkpoint, and that is a huge advantage to them if they manage to get the tower back there. It's a big lead. Breaking that second checkpoint is not an easy task at this level, and it's going to end up being the mountain that Two-Night now needs to climb. Although they do have more than half the match to do it, they keep going 3 down here and there to third.
Oh no, okay, Liam's splashdown managed to get cancelled, but at least being able to take down Acer here. KitKat's running away from Newt's crab tank, and another clean quick scope from KitKat taking down Yorlove, but before being taken down by Liam here. Two-Night, like you said, have a very tall mountain to climb here, and if anything, third is finally matching their amount of firepower here. Albo's going down here, but now Yorlove is on the flank here. Do they notice that the gal is flanking?
That is the big question, and right now it's looking like the answer is yes. They are aware, they have called it out, it is gone, but now that tower is threatening that next checkpoint, though it looks like they are still putting a lot of pressure. The leader is able to just keep on firing on it. Are they going to be able to break the checkpoint? Barely. No, it doesn't. No, they did, and that is a lead swap for Two-Night. Now the ball is back in third's court in order to break this, but Two-Night is going to move this goalpost as far as they can before going down, and finally it's looking like things might be cleaned up unless Yorlove has anything to say about it.
But Yorlove is silent here. They're going down to the combined efforts of, I think, of Acer as well as Albo here. And KitKat is back on tower. They have the crab ready to go. T is going down, though that NZAP will not provide any more coolers. And Liam's just managing to take out KitKat before any more quick scopes can happen here. Liam just once again sharking in and out, which we've seen Liam do this a lot before. And once again, making good advantage of the ledges. Blasters can do that just as effectively as Sloshers, but at least the fight is uneven. T is able to take out Liam here. There's going to be 1 minute left for third to get past 15 here, and considering they already have 2 down and the numbers advantage and the cooler here, they could have what it takes as long as they can get rid of Kiki here. Ace is going to be able to take them out here, but there's 1 minute left on the clock here, and Two-Night is having the time of their lives with a wipeout to their belt.
They are having none of this going into this final push, pushing the tower back onto third side of the map. Not a good position to be in if you are the team that's down right now. Going down to the crab, getting chipped out, and going 2 down. And Two-Night is back up to their shenanigans as they feel like they've won this game, but it's only with only 30 seconds left. I see that confidence, but they could end up going down to see if things change.
And Yorlove is back on the flank here. Albo does notice it. There is 17 seconds left on the clock for third to take this back here. They need to get on this and stay on it until the bitter end here, as 10 seconds is left on the clock. This is going to have to go into overtime for third. KitKat landing a snipe onto Newt, onto Kiki. Holy crap, 2 snipes for KitKat, and they still have Kraken and Soda ready to go here. Don't count out third yet.
Is just the overtime. Now there are 2 specials on their side in order to be able to stall out this long as possible. They have the tri-strikes trying to get things down, but the Kraken ends up going down. They have to scramble for the tower, and everyone's going down, so this push is not going to end up happening as they decided to play it safe and get rid of the final jump before knocking onto the tower and ending it. Two-Night going up in this set.
Okay, and that is now tournament points onto third here. Man, that was very close on the side of third here. They had a really good opportunity going into that push here, but like we said earlier, that high ground control, that Two-Night just maintained a lot more, I think, throughout the course of the game. Not only on the side of their mid lines, but even the making sure that third's back lines can't take control of it. With Liam as well as Yorlove on the scene, it just constantly storming the front here. That game is going to Two-Night here. It is match point onto third, like I said earlier, and we're going on potentially the final game of this tournament, Rainmaker on Museum D'Alfonsino.
I think that this could end up being a very volatile game here. With how aggressive that Two-Night has been, with how much they seem to value just putting people in places that you don't expect them in order to shark, in order to gain that advantage, in order to keep momentum as aggressively as possible. Rainmaker is a mode that rewards rapid aggression, and I think Two-Night might be able to completely clean this out really quickly if they manage to do it. But Museum is a particular map where I feel as if the opportunities to get people into that position are much smaller, because outside of the mid area, everything is really, really choky.
Yeah, exactly here. That first checkpoint, like basically everywhere past the first checkpoint, that is very tight here. You've got the entire top spinner basically obscuring your view going into the final checkpoint here. and those like 2 side lanes that the spinner opens up are very tight here. But we have no more time left for analysis. This could potentially be it for third if they don't dial in and get this game on their belts here. What are we going to see from everything? Whoa, that is something different from Tonight. Liam on the Stamper, and this time Kit Kat is on the base E leader with Wavebreaker.
I like this adjustment actually from Kit Kat. The Ink Mines are definitely going to have some really good value on this map with how choky their area of the map is going to be. Defensively, just going to be a really good add. And the Wavebreaker, I think, also being one of its better maps for the special. So, but now I'm really interested in what Tonight is going to do. Again, they have thrown stability out the window, and now they have a Stamper on the team.
Yeah, but that being said, third's going to be able to jump off that spinner, take first checkpoint here. There's 2 down on both teams. Owl's throwing the strikes to potentially make this bubble pop less volatile, but it's still being predominantly orange here. That pop's going to Tonight here, and Newt is already trying to get at least a little bit more of a grip on the scene, but they're being pressured a little bit more by Owl here. And Owl's just, once again, playing to the ledges. That's what Buckets as well as Blasters do well here. But Liam isn't on Blaster anymore, but Owl is just outnumbered. They are jumped, and Rainmaker is reset here. We're back into neutral.
Back into neutral, and very much favoring Tonight to get this first push, to get their push going and onto the checkpoint without much of a fuss. However, they do lose their Stamper, and they do have a Crab in order to push this forward. It's looking like they're going to try and get the lead. They're going to try and break away, but not quite able to do it. Only getting a very small lead over third and getting cleaned up in response. Third has a pretty good opportunity now to regain control as long as they can clean up Your Love.
And they do here, at least making sure that a lot of the fights that third is taking with Your Love is a 2v1. I think we saw that earlier in the game here, and we're seeing it again with Aloe as well as Kit Kat, making sure that Your Love has no more shenanigans left on there. Your Love just can't catch a break. They're going down once again to Aloe. The strikes are coming out from Aloe as well here, but they need to watch out for Newt here. But they do have the Rainmaker. T is running like a madman, and the lead has been swapped. It is now 36-50. Third is once again in the lead.
Third is also keeping the momentum going as Tonight ended up going 3 down, and so third is now all over their spinner area. However, Your Love now cleaning up third, trying to get them off, and they managed to do it, resetting everything. And now Tonight is going to be back in the driver's seat. Can they manage to throw the lead back into their favor?
They are going to be on soda buff, and there is no Wavebreaker to worry about. But here comes Aloe with the steel chair, taking down 2 here. That being said, there's 2 down on the side of Tonight here. It is Liam going off against T here. I think they're just trying to play around those Ink Mines, like you said earlier. That I think that Kit Kat was placing earlier. There's another crab off again here. Newt is just trying to at least disperse the rest of third away from the bubble, and that is going to be a pop for Tonight. They're once again behind the driver's wheel here. They need to at least make more distance than third did, but here comes Acer trying to at least shut them down, and they will be able to take it down. But the lead is 1 point off part 2.
They managed to drop it down, so the Rainmaker will not be going anywhere right now. They go back to mid, and it's going to look like going 1 down is going to be the risk that they wanted to take. Third going to be able to try and reset things, but the Rainmaker is trying to get back right now. They're not out of the woods yet.
And if anything, Owl is just applying so much pressure with that slosher, and a high ground crab, courtesy of Acer, is able to shut down Tonight's push once more. There's going to be around 1 minute and 30 seconds left here. Tonight still hold the 1 point lead here. Liam is just kind of under fire from everything. Here comes that Zipcaster being shut down by the steady scope of Kit Kat.
Oh, this is looking really good for third. Only a little over a minute left, and they're maintaining the 1 point lead right now. Tonight having failed to get that, and the Rainmaker in kind of an awkward spot for them to get there. It's in a really defensible position for third. I don't think they're going to end up rolling it out, especially after going 3 down. However, the Rainmaker ends up resetting, and did they just get KO'd by the shield?
I don't know if they got KO'd by the shield or by Aloe here, but Aloe is still just providing so much value for third here. This is perhaps the final push for Tonight here. If they get past 36, if they get past just a little bit, they will be able to take a lead. But here comes the crab from Acer, shutting down Eddie, at least providing a little bit more of a blockade. But there it is. There's the lead swap from Tonight here, but they will be shut down. Third now has 30 seconds, perhaps even overtime left to get this lead back here. They need to make this push work, and they need need to make this push work fast.
Yeah, they do have the time. They do have at least the Rainmaker time. They're going to end up having a little bit more if they manage to get this Rainmaker back. But going 2 down right now with this join, no, a full wipeout is catastrophic. And it's looking like Tonight is going to take the Rainmaker and put it into a really annoying spot for Third to get to.
No.
Just holding it on the glass that is functionally impossible for them to get back to in time unless they manage to get a wipeout and pop and grab it right now. It's looking like they barely managed to get it, so that cheese is not going to work, and we still have a game going on. Never mind.
Oh no, but here comes Your Love with the steel chair. I was about to think that their hubris could have been their end, but Tonight will take the set 3-1.
You know, for a second there, I really thought that there was going to be a drawn-out overtime push, and then Your Love just kind of shows up completely out of nowhere. I didn't even see them.
Yeah, I didn't even catch Your Love as well, man.
I thought that was a full wipeout, and Your Love was just not anywhere close to the Rainmaker, but there they are, just ready to end things. What an absolutely dominant performance by Tonight, with Third one managing to put up a hell of a fight to keep on going. What an amazing Great White bracket that we just witnessed.
And on the other end, we see that Pleasant Living have triumphed and took 3rd place in a 3-0 set against Ball Up top³ here. Shout out to Pleasant Living as well. Of course, it's Third for making all the way to Great Right, and everyone that has showed up to this weekly SOS edition number 185 here. Man, I wish you kind of had replays so we could see Kit Kat's quick scopes, man. I was already thinking this was like 2015 phase montages again.
Well, there's always the VODs that you could always watch, as they are always available on the IPL YouTube, and there were plenty of moments to go back to if you want to relive them for this SOS, for sure.
Oh, definitely so here, but this seems like it's the end for this SOS here, but of course, SOSs tend to happen every Wednesday, so this ain't the end from us per se here. But before we jump out here, part 2, where can the good people of all the live chats find you on social media?
Well, you can find me on my Blue Sky, part2 bluesky.social, and I am part2 SR on Twitch and YouTube. You can find me speedrunning Crash Team Racing, or playing Tales of Berseria, or just doing any other random thing that I feel like. How about you, Frost?
Well, you can find me on the site formerly known as Twitter at TK_Frost6, and Blue Sky at Frost6.bluesky.social. I swear I'll post more there. And I guess if you want to support some of my work here, you can totally read my web novel, Gap Year, on Wattpad. I swear it's worth your time, like these tournaments. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyways, here, this has been us from IPL. Special shout-outs, of course, to Justin for keeping the stream alive here. And, of course, the previous casters, Grace, as well as Rafe here. Oh, man. Okay. That's the tournament.
That is the tournament, and I think we should be signing off. That is going to be it from us. But bye, everyone.
Have a great night.